What's up, Fins family? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I hope everybody is doing great. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in the building. Man, shout out to Elder Bruce Jones. I see you in the building, man. Glad to see you up in here. Shout out to the mod squad. Shout out to all the members of the channel. I don't know why Elder Bruce Jones ain't modded. That don't make sense. We'll take care of that. A lot of people ain't modded. I gotta check into that, see what's going on. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing, man? It's been quiet in these Dolphin streets, ain't it? Ain't it been quiet in these Dolphin streets? Like, where everybody at, man? I expected a lot of people to be taking advantage of this time, making their streams and just giving great content. But it is what it is, man. But we're live. And as y'all know, I haven't been at my best. And a few days ago, I came back feeling like I was closer to my best. And then, it went backwards a little bit. So bear with me. I got a little cough too now. So, man, I just love the new setup. You know why? I love it too, man. I love it too, man. I can't wait till tonight. I believe tonight will be the first episode for me and my wife, our podcast. So we will be on this set, probably a different color or something like that. A lot of people are like, man, that's a tight green screen. Well, this ain't a green screen. This is real, stuff back here, see the moving the leaves and all that good stuff. No, it's just a little nice little setup the wife came up with. So we rocking with it. And I love it, man. It's pretty, it's simple and nice and elegant and formal. And I'm like, man, I can do my fin stuff from here. On occasions I'll bring out all excuse me, the paraphernalia, but I like this as a studio, more formal, more clean, I think it's best suited for the new times, when Tua goes out and ball out, a new Tua, a new TD, right? A new Tua, a new TD. Maybe I'm on to something. Maybe I'm on to something. Woo! Well, we ain't gonna get ahead of ourselves, okay? Wow, 3D interactive green screen. Clemente, I've been coughing and coughing and coughing, man. You can't make me laugh like that, man. Y'all, listen, all y'all who love making me laugh, y'all spare me. Just keep it copacetic today. That way I ain't gotta cough my lungs away because I got that little itch in my throat that makes me want to cough. And I don't want to sit on the sideline and watch everybody else out here. I want to be able to provide some content myself. So work with me, man. 3D interactive green screen. That's what's up, man. Oh man, but how everybody doing, man? Triple S podcast. I see you, homie. Listen, man, I want to give a special shout out to all the people who have been rocking with me for some time, who have always showed love. I hate moments like this, what I'm about to do, but I always put myself in this situation. But I'm gonna do it anyway. I try to shout out a lot of people that have, looked out for the channel. Elder Bruce Jones, I already saw him earlier. He don't just look out for the channel, but he look out for me and my family as well. Vic has always been there, a stand-up guy. Donald and Irene Young, man, I appreciate you. Man, Chris Sharp, Flipside Fishing, and again, I'm not gonna get everybody. Some of the even more prominent people I'll forget right now, so I don't hit everybody every time. Vincent, man, my guy Vincent, man, he was over the weekend hanging out with who was that, Geo or Batman? I gotta go back and look. It was their birthday over the weekend, and they were hanging out in Miami. So yeah, man, they sent me a text. So shout out to them, man. A lot of y'all done became a family, man. Shout out to Insanity, Chef Jew, Ronnie, I see you, man. Andres Negron, just familiar names, man. I always give a shout out to um what's his name? See, I'm always giving a shout out to him, but I ain't forget his name. Adam Padilla, I see you. Um Dang, who was the number one tourineur, man? What's his name again? I'll remember in a second. But yeah, man, Esteban, EM Reason Ball Game, DDW, of course, man. Um, Man, just shout out to the fam, man. Shout out to the Fin fam. All right. Oh man, I got my new intro song for this season. I've been working on. I hope y'all enjoy it. I don't know. Let me see if I'm able to play it real quick. T Rich, yeah, thank you, Desert Dolphin. T Rich, man. I always say shout out to T Rich, man, because it's one of the only tourineurs that admit he's a tourineur, and that that's why I always respect the T Rich. At least he's honest. Like I wish it was more tourineurs that was honest like T Rich. TD, do you plan on going to training camp? Honestly, yes. I'm trying to figure that out because too many people are inviting me to training camp to go with them. And at the end of the day, I realize I'm just gonna have to go and just tell everybody where I am, where they can come hang out with me. Because I got at least 10 to 12 people like, hey, we're going to training camp. Come hang with us and this and that. At least that's the plan right now to go to training camp. Gas prices have gone down about 30 cents. So we'll see, man. And like I said, I appreciate the donations to the channel. But no, I plan on going. I'm also working on something special for training camp. Y'all gonna love it. I tell y'all, I ain't gotta hide nothing. I'm trying to get into Bucks training camp. Those two open to the I'm working with somebody because they're only allowing training camp for their season ticket holders. The joint practices with the Dolphins, they're only allowing for their season ticket holders. But I know a few of them. So we'll see. I can't guarantee, but I'm trying to get in the building there because if I can get in the building to watch the Dolphins practice against the Bucks, y'all, ain't no better exclusive. Ain't no better exclusive, man. Shout out to Cody Rife with the donation. Said, always great to see you, man. Been praying for you and your health and the family. Always when the AFC's roundtable coming back, it comes back and be like, see you next week, and boom, month later, nothing. You know, we got four guys. I'll just keep it 100 with you, Cody, and thank you for bringing that up. We got four guys on the AFC's roundtable. Life happens, and in the off season, I got to be honest, it's not as big of a priority. But we don't stress each other because it is the off season. Just know when the season starts, we back and popping. When the season starts, we don't typically miss a roundtable. Out of 5 months, we may miss two max. So when the season starts, we'll do something in preseason, maybe one stream, but when the season starts, the week before the season starts, we own and pop it. We try to do stuff in the interim. A lot of these guys have other channels and stuff. Richie was covering the Knicks during basketball season. Some of these guys took vacation. I took vacation. So, we don't stress each other in the off season. So if we can, we can. We don't, we don't. And at this point, we just ain't bothering each other. We're just probably in a few weeks for training camp. We'll do an episode, wait a few, and then a few weeks after, do another episode. But once the season starts, we up and running, baby. Rich said, TD, this feels less intimate. Hey, man, I get it, man. I know you need me close to you, Rich. You're an Alabama fan, though. You're an Alabama fan. You don't like the teal. Hold on, let me do this for T Rich. What colors is Alabama? What colors is Alabama? Is that better for you, T Rich? How about that, T Rich? I'm showing you some intimate love, T Rich. Is that better for Alabama, T Rich? Oh man. Oh man. See, hey, I hooked you up, T Rich. There you go, man. You got a little clip in there. You got a little color change, all right. Um, but no, but that's what's up with the round table, y'all. Um, hey, what else I was gonna say? Yeah. Let me see if I can find it for y'all. The little intro song I made, just shouting out some people in our team. Y'all give me a second. Hmm. Brand private. Man, they got all kind of new stuff on here. Y'all give me a second. Add music. Add music. Um, Let me see if it allows me to add it, y'all. I had made some new intro music, but I'm also trying to do some visuals on the music. Um,
Yeah,
can y'all hear that?
it's TDPHINSTALK.
Let me know if y'all can hear that. Yes or no.
Gotta keep going.
Hey, this is 2022. TD on the mic repping my team. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Over 20,000 subs. Look at how much we done grew. Shout out DDW. He's great and that's my peer review. These haters keep on hating and it's starting to feel like deja vu. Insanity and Chef Jew. I can't forget my day one crew. EM Reason Ball Game. The recognition's overdue. I share with you my point of view and this is what it's got us to success. My haters say I'm a mess. They say that I'm a pest and I depress. And I'm obsessed with causing stress, but yet the stress they can't suppress. Nonetheless, I just impress because I'm blessed and they oppress. I know the answers, they just guess. When they play checkers, I play chess. When they regress, I make progress. And my attention, they get less. They feel neglected, CPS. If they don't pay, I repossess. Now I digress and decompress and take recess and clear my chest. I must confess, I am the best. Like, hey, this is 2022. TD on the mic repping my team. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Over 20,000 subs. Look at how much we done grew. Shout out DDW. He's great and that's my peer review. These haters keep on hating and it's starting to feel like deja vu. Insanity and Chef Jew. I can't forget my day one crew. EM Reason Ball Game. The recognition's overdue. I share with you my point of view and this is what it's got us to success. On the road to the Super Bowl, no matter the cost, man, we willing to pay the toll. 50 plus years and they all ended in tears. Now it's time to pop bottles, celebrate, scream cheers. Hey, this is 2022. TD on the mic repping my team. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Over 20,000 subs. Look at how much we done grew. Shout out to my day one crew. We only here because of you. So that's a little intro, a little something I made for my intro. Now I got to put my visuals on there to make it like a little video for like the beginning of because I wanted to give some shout outs to some of the people who are huge in the community. Like I said in there, shout out DDW. He's great, and that's my peer review. Also had to shout out the haters. These haters keep on hating, and it's starting to feel like deja vu. Insanity and Chef Jew. I can't forget my day one crew. EM Reason Ball Game. The recognition's overdue. I share with you my point of view, and this is what it's got us to success. My haters say I'm a mess. They say that I'm obsessed with causing stress, and I depress and I neglect, but yet distress. Just a few lyrics. But anyway, man, hopefully y'all like it. Y'all gonna hear a lot of that this year at the beginning of almost every stream. So it seems like a lot of y'all really like it. So that's cool. I just wanted to get y'all take real quick, just in case I need to go back in the lab and do a whole new intro song, just in case y'all were like, oh, I hate that. T-Red said, we got another double. Hey, that's still loaded, man. I got to change some bars on that too. If I mention Flores or something in it, I got to see. I got to start making timeless music without naming players and stuff, because every time they be gone like that, man. Did you make the beat also, TD? No, man. I usually go online and use one of those sample free beats. That's why I be limited in what I do, because I don't have many instrumentals. If I had somebody that did beats that just sent me instrumentals all the time, I crush them, because I just love music. I love writing lyrics. It's just something I love doing. And I love flow. I love like switching up different flows and different stuff like that. So, but yeah, just something. But anywho, Miami Dolphins are the most mysterious team of 2022. That's what I came in here to talk to y'all about. I've been sitting, chilling around on these streets, man, these Twitter streets, YouTube, everybody making their videos. And it's like everybody's coming up with the same thing at the end of the day. They're just talking about the simple fact that nobody knows what to expect from this team. It could either go great, it could either go trash, or it could just be right in the middle again. This is the most mysterious team in the NFL. Like everybody else, it's like, what to expect almost, or what the aspiration should be. But for us, it's like hope. There's so many unknowns, and we got a few more knowns, but there's still a lot of unknowns. And I think I do a good job of letting y'all know what all those unknowns are already. Um, no need to keep hampering on it. But this is a scary season, man. We just sit back and like, what is there to expect? And y'all know me. I'm just like, Tua is the guy. Tua's everything. Tua's I don't care. TD, why all you do is talk about Tua because he's it's everything. To me, all roads lead to this man. Everything we do is just it's about him. It's for him. It's to him. This is the Tua season. I thought last year was going to be the Tua season. I was wrong, whether it be good or bad. But this year, there ain't no question. It's the Tua season. It's the freaking Tua season, man. And who is Tua? You know what I realized? Like nobody freaking knows who he is. Nobody knows who he is. We're talking about a kid who didn't even give you all 4 of the years in college where it was like all 4 starting season. It's like he got thrust in there, miracles happen, and beautiful playing, and bam, he's the biggest figure. Nobody knows who he is. Everybody want to think they know who he is. Everybody want to guess who they is. TD want to guess. Y'all want to guess. Everybody want to guess who he is. Nobody know who he is. Does he even know who he is? And it's like, man, we about to find out. We're about to find out, man. And we all have preferences in our quarterback. Shout out to Two Raw TV Uncut. Said TD, I'm from Carver Ranches. Hey, you right down the street from me, man. I'm on the east side of 95 in Hollywood. So I knew where you at. I went to church in Carver Ranches, by the way. But anyway. But yeah, man, it's like we all sit here and we all have preferences in our quarterback. Like think about it. What was like the normal preference in your quarterback? First of all, you want a guy who's bold, you know, if that's something, right? You want a guy who's a leader. And you know how everybody say people lead in their own way. Stop. We all know what we mean when we say a guy who's a leader. A guy who gonna command the offense, who's gonna get in people behind if they ain't acting right, who gonna put people where they need to be, who's gonna demand greatness, who's going to his voice is gonna be heard over anyone in the room. And it's like Tua doesn't exemplify that not one bit. Yeah, hey guys, we do this, but he doesn't exemplify that. But does he have to? No. But let's be honest, in a fan's perspective of what they want in a quarterback, that's something. Is he the guy that's taking those risks, making those big plays? It's just like, wow. Like I've been looking at nothing but film while I've not felt my best. And it's like, has he ever taken over a game? And people say, well, that Arizona game, he made some big boy throws, but do you know what taking over a game is? You know, you know what taking over a game is? It reminds you of like Herbert last year, where there was like 4 different games where it's the fourth quarter with 8 minutes left, and Herbert's down by 6, and he drives his team down in 3 or 4 passes, and bam, touchdown, like 20-yard strikes at a time. All 3 throws and 4 throws in tight windows, and it's scary crazy, right? Then the other team says, oh yeah, bam, we scored again, do it again. And he came back and he like, bam, and what's up? You know, it's like that real dog that's just like, ooh, what up? Let's get it. Like we don't see that on film. People say the like, oh, what about the Arizona game? We had 24 points at halftime. We only scored 10 more points for the rest of the game. And 3 of those 10 was a game-winning field goal. That ain't what I'm talking about. What about Atlanta? Well, you can't dig yourself in the hole and then try to get all the credit for coming out, because the defense got to make stops to help you come out too. Well, what about the Kansas City Chiefs game? We had 5 turnovers. We turned Mahomes over 4 times and made him fumble 1. And we still lost. It's like you wait on that to happen, right? And you don't get that. So it's like, dang, is he really like that guy? And then it's the aptitude. You know, can he process the 3 levels of the field? Can he read defenses very well? And then you see certain plays where, oh, that was a thing of beauty, but did he read it? Or that's where he was going with the ball? We don't know. You know, and like T. Rich said, he threw 4 touchdowns against ATL and 80% completions. He also had 2 interceptions, and in that 80% completions, it ain't hard to be 80% whenever you hike the ball and hit the tight end slipping out on half your plays. Or Devontae Parker slid. Excuse me. It ain't hard. And this is where a lot of people say, oh, the accuracy. It's not very hard to continue to throw 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to 7-yard passes. It's not hard. Most quarterbacks in the NFL would have a high completion percentage if they only threw like that. And again, it is what it is. It's just that we don't know who he is. We have all these concerns, but then when you look at the positives, you say, man, he really escapes the pocket well. But we cry about protection, right? Oh, well, you know, he's really accurate in the short game. He's this, that, and this. It's a scary moment for us because we drafted him. We haven't seen anything special, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to get it. We just don't know. This is what we're going to find out this year, if he's the guy or not. This has been going on for over 2 years now before he was even drafted. T. Rich said the game will slow down for him this year. I thought it slowed down after about 5 games in his rookie season when he said he didn't know it was going to be that easy. That's when we thought it slowed down. So it's supposed to slow down now? That's the point, T. Rich. It's always like I got to come back for everything because it's there in front of us. It's right there in front of us. It's just frustrating because you try to hold on to certain things to say this kid is special, he's going to be the future, but it's hard to find. And one of the main things I find is very so often you see a throw that's like, man, that was beautiful and on the money. Let me tell y'all something also about Tua. Sometimes I feel hope for him because I watch the film behind the line of scrimmage sometimes, and I say, man, look at how fast things are moving. And he threw that ball right there. It's a half of it's like 5 inches off, and it would have been a massive play. But God, dog, you know how hard that is. And I kind of like, at least he knew to go there and he got it there. But like, it's just off just a little, but nobody's perfect. And it just didn't work in his favor. And I say, man, that is technically special, but it still didn't work. Like, I find myself seeing that sometimes when I watch the film with him. Like, ooh, look at, nice. It didn't work. Like, if it would have been over just a little, but beggars can't be choosers. We talk about 5 inches, 25 yards down the field. Nobody can complain about that. It just didn't work. I feel like that 5 inches you only get with luck. But then you watch Herbert and them, and you just be like, they controlling every bit of that 5 inches. They controlling every bit of, like, you see things where you're like, dang, Tua ain't far off. It's just that if you're not there, oh, it's massive of a difference. The small difference is actually massive in the result. Like, think about it. You throwing a 25-yard dart down the middle of the field and you 5 inches off, you can't blame them. But being 5 inches on is a huge difference because now you're in field goal range versus a punt. And it's like, and you can't knock Tua for it because even at 5 inches off, if if the defender wasn't that close, it would have still been money. But that's why it's tough in this league, man. That's why, well, you can't expect people to be perfect. You sure can't. But some of these guys are making some plays that's like, man, that was that was perfect. That's why it's hard in this league. It's not easy. It's not easy. The Dolphin realtor said, what? LOL. Herbert is like 3 feet off and still gets the reception. Yeah. So let me break that down for y'all too, right? There's throws I've been watching of Herbert, right? The guy got to slow down and wait for the ball, just like Tua, right? The guy has to jump off his feet because the ball placement wasn't perfect, just like Tua. The guy is, you see what I mean? Everybody has that, right? But the point of the matter is, when people say every quarterback does that, you're right. But you still cannot deny. This is the difference in the NFL. This is what I keep trying to teach y'all. Ain't nobody perfect. But it's about how many perfect plays you can have. It's about how many perfect plays you can have. You could throw the ball 40 times in a game. You may only be required to be perfect on 7 of those passes. But do you convert 4 out of 7 or do you convert 1 out of 7? That's the difference, man. These quarterbacks ain't that far apart that you think. They all underthrow. They all overthrow. They all miss targets. They all throw picks. But out of 40 throws in the game, you might have to be perfect on 7 of them. And that's the difference. Can you convert 4 out of those 7 perfect ones? Or are you converting 1 out of 7? So remember, you may have people wide open. Herbert may have people wide open. We're not talking about those throws. Would Herbert have an advantage from his wide receivers? Yes. That's the other 33 throws. Wide open, wide open, wide open, wide open. He may have more people wide open than Tua. He may have a better running game than Tua. We get all of that. But every game, Herbert, just like Tua, like Brady, like Zach Wilson, like all of them, there are at least 7 throws where if you're perfect, oh my gosh, this is a massive play that shows your ability to be elite. And beyond executing, I'm talking about elite is hitting 4 out of 7, but our guy may be hitting 1 out of 7. Or let me take it a step further. Our guy might not even throw the ball because it's too risky. So I can't sit here also and compare the two if one of them taking the shots and hitting them at 4 out of 7 and the other one probably only got 2 opportunities because he won't even take the other 5. You know how many passes Herbert threw for a touchdown that was contested in great coverage, but the placement of the ball, like, and our guy would have never have even thrown it. They got it on Twitter right now praising Herbert, because they went back and they look at the first 2 years, how many records he's broke as a quarterback in the first 2 years of the NFL. They got a highlight reel that's a minute and 40 something seconds long. And they are showing him throwing touchdowns that are purely contested. I'll do you one better. Y'all know me, man. Maybe I just need to pull it up. Maybe I just need to pull it up. Matter of fact, I'll do you one better. The reason why I saw it is because EM sent it to me 3:30 in the morning. I got to get on him too. I'm like, go to sleep, man. What you still doing up? Share. Hold on. Let me airdrop this link to myself, and I'll just play it for you. I'll play it for you. I'll play the video on Twitter, because everybody, I see some of y'all in the comment section. Yeah, but were those contested throws, or were they wide open from the receivers? Oh, you about to find out. You about to find out. Give me a second. Dang, why this only staying on this screen? Y'all give me a second. Hold on. Let me mute this. Give me a second, y'all. I got it up right now. I'm just trying to push it to my other screen, and I'm not sure why it's not coming over. Okay, this will be better now. All right, share screen. So are you saying Tua will not throw into coverage? I'm not saying that. I'm saying he won't as much as he should. We got throws of Tua doing it too, but he won't do it in moments where there's an opportunity to. All right, let me go window, Chrome tab. I guess I'll have to go entire screen because it won't do it otherwise. All right. So y'all can hear me, man. Look at this. I want y'all to see these highlights, right? Under pressure like everybody else. Now everybody say, "Oh, look at the separation on this one, right? This is the first one. This is just the first one." The problem I have is, first of all, even if we got separation, who in the heck throwing the ball 65 yards? Who in the heck throwing? Who in the heck? Who in the heck is? Hold on, let me move this over. Who in the heck is going to throw the ball 65 yards? I see all this is the first throw. Now y'all gonna see all the contested ones, but all y'all in the comment section talk about receiver wide open. Yeah, we done had receivers wide open, but you think we getting the ball 65 yards down the field? You think? Jesus, come on. Y'all ain't never seen a Dolphins game where a screen went that far down the field, where the camera went this far down the field. You ain't never seen our TV monitor go from the 30 to the end zone. Y'all ain't never in your life seen the Dolphin screen in the last 2 years go from the 30 to the end zone. From the 35 to the end zone. And I'm just talking about an attempt. Come on. So and T Rich said that's his best throw. It may be. Let's keep going. Let me see if I can get this watermark out here because they're gonna try to copyright me soon. Y'all give me a second. They're gonna copyright me in a little bit. Let me put this. Let me see if I can get a watermark up here. Maybe that'll cover that NFL logo because they're gonna copyright this video probably. Anyway. When you seen the ball go that far, y'all? Another one. Another one about around the 35, ending up in the end zone. Close to it. Win. Now let's go to some contested ones. Now, this is the one that I love the most. This is the one that I want to explain to y'all. This is the one right here. This is what you call an anticipation throw. On the all 22, if I showed y'all this on the all 22 with the blitz coming like that, y'all see this blitz? If I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys rushing against 6, they sent a zero blitz. They sent a zero blitz. Now, if I showed y'all this on the all 22, I want y'all to think about it. Look at it. 3 guys, right? Nobody's open. Right here, nobody's still open in that secondary. But I would have showed y'all this on the all 22, and I would have said right here, if he knows the play, he needs to let it launch right here. And y'all would have been like, how would he know that the guy is going to be open? Because look at it. I want you to look at it. A millisecond earlier, ain't nobody open. They got nobody open. They got all of these guys sitting playing the first down marker. They don't know. They have no idea. And Herbert knows the play, and he knows right here, I can anticipate that my guy is going to beat 23 coming around this corner right here. Man to man. Y'all see that? And y'all would get mad at me on the all 22 when I say right here is where you got to get ready to load and let it go. Bam. Let it go. And that same guy gets around the corner, and this is what you do. I've showed y'all this on film so many times in the Dolphins. I said if he lets it go right here, his man will be open for the deep ball. I show y'all film after film after film. And T. Rich had the nerve to say, look at that pocket. Are you freaking kidding me, T. Rich? Are you kidding me? T. Rich. First of all, he ain't never throwing the ball if he got to throw it like this, T. Rich. All I'm saying to you is if Tua was behind that on this play, that ball would have never left his hand, ladies and gentlemen. These are the ones I'm talking about right here. 3rd and 7, it would have never left his hand. And we've seen too many of these. See, don't get these either. Only time we got this was with Parker. Contested pass, put it up anyway. He wants to see the wide open man. We want to see the wide open man. We won't throw this. We won't throw this. Defender right in his face. We won't throw it. This is the Mac Hollins. We rare. This is the Mac Hollins. Right away. Right away. This ain't no reading the defense. This is saying, hey, at the beginning of this play, I'm putting this up to my man, and I'm going to put it right where it needs to be. Come on. Get out of here, man. Come on. Come on. And people be like, look at all the time he has. Look at how fast he throw this ball after he hike it. No time at all. No time at all, man. He don't need 3 seconds to throw the ball. Yeah, see, another one. You don't need 3 seconds to throw the ball. Another one. And this is when your offense starts to open up because of it. This is when your offense starts to open up because of it. Oh, this is a beautiful one. Let me tell y'all why this was a beautiful one. Again, he throwing the ball before it's open, and when you see the ball, all you see is the open. See, this is all y'all see. This is what y'all see right here. Oh, he's wide open. This is what y'all see. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Dolphin fans see. He was wide open. I want you to think about when he threw the ball. Look at those receivers. There is a safety on the top right here. There is a safety that you can't see in the frame right now that's over the top. But he knows the route and he knows what's going to happen with the defense, and he lets it fly. He let that ball fly before he was wide open to where he would be wide open. This is another thing. This is another issue. You know why? Because when we see people wide open like this on the deep post, Tua sees it when it's open, and he's like, oh, it's too late to throw now. It's too late to throw now. All we see is, look at the separation. Do you know he threw the man open? He wasn't open when he went right here. He wasn't open right here. He became open. Look at this. Look at this view right here. The ball is already gone right before he start getting his separation. The ball is already on his way. Already on his way. This is what people don't pay attention to. It's that simple. Another contested one. Double coverage. This is dangerous. I wouldn't have liked him throwing it. Puts it up to his playmaker. I ain't a fan of this one. I'm not a fan of that one. I ain't gonna rave about that. But he definitely is attacking. Tua ain't never throwing this ball, and I don't want Tua throwing this ball. But Herbert is in straight attack mode. Straight attack mode. This is a wide open one. Probably a pick play. Gosh, this arm is ridiculous. Look at this. Oh my God. See? Attack mode. Tight coverage. It don't matter. Attack mode. Let me tell you another thing about this, though. Let me tell you another thing about this. This is the issue that I do have. This is the issue that I have. Show the world you got the talent and make these receivers look bad. I don't want to hear these excuses of, yeah, but he don't trust his receivers. What they got to do with anything? Show the world that it ain't you, it's these receivers. You're doing your job. That's what you're supposed to do. Your job. Not sit here and say, oh, well, I don't trust my receivers, so I'm not going to do it. What? Let people recognize the talent and the arm that you have and put that ball out there. But let's be honest, if we want to, we got to deal with certain limitations as well. At the end of the day, he's not going to get the ball downfield as fast as you see them big old bombs Herbert was flinging. Y'all also got to think about how fast he got him down there, how that ball zipped down the field. Not this Hail Mary heave where it hangs high all day just to get the distance on it. That's the difference. But I wanted to show y'all that, not because Herbert is obviously a superior arm talent. I wanted to show y'all that because it's really about the anticipation throws. That's where it'll make all the difference. Yeah, he ain't open right now, but if you know the play and you know what the defense is doing, you know where to put that ball where your guy should be in and up. You got to anticipate better and you got to make those kind of plays. That's what it's about. When that pressure is coming, that ball should be on its way. It's the anticipation. Y'all can't skate around that. That's the issue. It's the anticipation. Knowing where your guy is going to end up. And I'm not talking about these 10-yard out routes that he's really good at, by the way. Oh, on this out route, my guy's going to be out there. No, I ain't talking about those. These anticipation throws where he has to know when to put the ball up before the pressure comes. And when you killing the defense like that, you're going to get less pressure. You're going to get less blitzes. When you making people pay for zero blitzing you, you're going to tire the defensive line out. You're going to make life easier for the O-line. See, nobody talk about that easier. Do you know a quarterback can make life easier for an O-line? The D-line just clawing and they coming at it, but they getting burnt every time. Now that claw ain't a claw, it's a scratch. Now that scratch ain't a scratch, it's a rub. Now the D-line giving up. Now they ain't attacking as much. But when they always got you scrambling and blah, 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 they still at it. We don't never want to talk about how a quarterback can slow a D-line down too. So that instead of once a game, now 3 or 4 times a game, you could fake that handoff and you on vacation back there. Quarterbacks can create that too. Quarterbacks make that defensive coordinator say, yeah, let's slow down on this pressure. We getting killed from it. Quarterbacks can make the D-line like, man, I'm tired, man. We coming at him, but he keep on sticking it to us. He keeping us on the field. You also have to consider the fact that every defensive line that we play, after 3 plays of going hard, they getting a rest. After 3 plays of going hard, they chilling on the sideline. They ain't worn out. Now they full strength on the next drive. We don't talk about that part of the game. How you could wear a D-line down. And that ain't all on the quarterback. We got to be able to run the ball better. We also got to just straight up protect better and make them feel like it's a losing cause regardless, because ain't no question Herbert had much better protection this year. Now, if I go back to his rookie year when he had the worst O-line in the NFL, he was still doing this stuff, though. QBs make everybody look good. I agree, but let's be fair to the QB too, Vic. It is a dependent position. The QB also needs time for certain plays to develop. It ain't all on the QB. Sometimes the O-line screws up a play that the QB might have struck on. But again, when I'm evaluating the O-line, I'm evaluating them that way. When I'm evaluating the quarterback, I don't count plays against them where there wasn't a play to be made. If there's an opportunity, though, I'm counting it against them. And that's why the Miami Dolphins are the most mysterious team this year, because it comes down to the most mysterious quarterback in the NFL. Is there a quarterback more mysterious than Tua this year, y'all? Is there a quarterback with more questions than Tua this year? Is there? Who's the most mysterious quarterback in the league this year? Where everybody's like it was Baker last year. Who is it this year? Who is it this year? Watson? Come on, man. We already know what Watson is. He ain't mysterious as in how many games he gonna be playing, but not his playing. He can come out rusty, and at some point, see, the difference is you've already seen Watson produce at an elite level. So at the end of the day, you at least know where a ceiling is at a minimum, because we don't even know if we've seen Watson's ceiling. We just think that we have because what we've seen at the ceiling so far has been ceiling worthy. We don't even know what the ceiling is. So he's not mysterious. He could play anywhere between his floor and ceiling, but that possibility is always there. That ain't mysterious. Tua is probably number one this year. Guys like Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, all those type of guys are the mysterious guys this year. Baker, it ain't mysterious to me because he ain't going to a team that's better than the Browns roster. So, no. And I'm getting frustrated. That whole Watson thing getting me frustrated because it looks like we're going to be playing Watson. I don't know if y'all have heard the latest on that situation. NFL want to suspend him indefinitely a year. The NFLPA asked the mediator 0 games. After they met with the mediator and she heard both sides, the conclusion from the meeting was the mediator basically said there was no evidence whatsoever of foul play, coercion, force, assault, anything. There ain't no evidence of anything other than the fact that he asked for something, they gave it, and they just felt like they had to. Everybody, he'll be suspended for a year. Now all the media outlets, 4 to 6 games. Now people, it may not be any games at all. I still maintain 8. I still maintain 8 just because. But to be quite honest with you, if I was an NFL mediator, 0. At the end of the day, we got to stop living in this culture where you just automatically say somebody guilty with no evidence. I don't care if it was 538 people that said something. Because then you also had a report that just came out that one of the accuser's son basically snitched on his mama and said, yeah, my mama told me about the massage and she was happy and everything was good. And then whenever all the negative stuff came out, she changed her whole story and joined the lawsuit. The son of one of the people came out and said, my mama raved about, the opportunity to work with him. Everything was great. And then when other people came out, she just changed her whole story. It was nothing but raving reviews. And as soon as some people start saying he did this and did that, she changed her whole story. Own son snitched on you. Your own son snitched on one of the accusers. It's crazy, man. Somebody said it'd be your own people. I mean, remember when it all first started, the very first lawsuit when there was only one and everybody was like, wow, it's only one. Remember the very first one? That one was already in question. Why? Because they had text messages of her trying to extort him, saying, if you don't, I'm going to go public and say this. And he refused. And then she went public. And they proved that already. And then they said, is there anyone else? Then all of a sudden 10 came out the works. It's almost like everything happened chronologically. After the one, they showed that she tried to extort him. Then all of a sudden there's like 10 And then everybody criticized like 10 of y'all, and not one of y'all filed a police report. Not one of y'all said anything. Then they filed a police report only after people criticized them. It's almost like, oh, it looks bad that we didn't. Okay, now let's do it. Oh, this looks bad that we did. Okay, now let's do it. It's been crazy. This whole situation's been crazy. And like I said, if I was the mediator, 0 games. It's time for some accountability on both sides. Somebody asks you to do something, you have a responsibility to say no. There is 0 evidence, ladies and gentlemen, of any force. And we just automatically, because it's 24, guilty. I pray that many of y'all are never in that type of situation, because believe it or not, some people face those type of situations in real life, obviously, like Watson. Not saying either one way or the other, but I know one thing. Two district attorneys, 2 grand juries said we don't have anything to even bring charges. This whole narrative, oh, you can indict a ham sandwich. He's getting indicted. Guarantee you can indict a ham sandwich. You sure can. And that should tell you something, because they didn't. And y'all know my opinion on all of this. I maintain the same stance. Watson tripping. At the end of the day, you obviously prayed. You obviously were seeking this out. But the tough part of it all, you didn't do it. It wasn't illegal. Yeah, you said, hey, I'm gonna bring her in. I like her. I like how she looks. I'm gonna see if she can give me a massage. And when she gets here, I'm gonna say, hey, I like you more than that. What's up? Ain't nothing illegal about that. Technically, some people even argue, is anything immoral about it? I like you. I hired you to do a service. Now, will you do this as well? No? Okay, because there are some reports of women saying they said no, and he said, okay. They finished the massage. Some of they don't talk about that either. The people that said no to him, they actually finished the massage. He paid them and they went on their way. They don't talk about those reports. They don't talk about all the other women that testified on his behalf that he even made advancements to, and they said no, and they finished their job and they went on about their way. It's crazy. And y'all think this is the end? I wouldn't be surprised if you don't hear another 10 of them. I wouldn't be surprised. TD, isn't it true that they're only reviewing the first 21 cases? He could get another suspension for the last 4. I don't think so. And let me tell you why. Here's another thing. He already settled with 21 of the 24, from my understanding. If I'm not mistaken, a few weeks ago, he just settled with 21 out of the 24. And I'm sure in that settlement, those women did sign a non-disclosure agreement, and the NFLPA is probably specifically saying you can't do nothing to him about that. There was no charges brought. There was basically nothing happened. What do you have of anything? Where are the people that saying he did anything? All right, can we? And then whenever they go to court over it, they got to appear, but they're not, because they already settled. This ain't about the 21 anymore. This is about the last, 3? This ain't about the 21 anymore. This is about like the last 3 at the end of the day. Unless I'm wrong, I thought that it was settled. 21 of them was settled. If I'm not wrong. Somebody crazy say he'll have men now. No, listen. Hopefully he learned from this situation and he learns to put himself in a better position. How he lives his life is his business. It's not the type of life that I would live, but I'm not him. There are more than 24 total now. It can be 50 at this point. At the end of the day, we done already went through 24 and not a shred of evidence that he forced anybody to do anything. Not a shred of evidence. It can get to 50 as far as I care. Matter of fact, the more it is now, it probably work in his favor, because at the end of the day, the more and more it is, the more he just proves that I didn't force nobody to do nothing. I just asked them would they like to do this, and most of them did. Most of them did. Somebody said, bro, this Dolphin talk, not Cleveland talk. Well, we talking about it because you know what? I expected to win in week 10, but it looks like we're going to have them at their best. So now we got to consider that game. And it could very well be the game that decide the season too. The Cleveland Browns at their best. They say the Dolphins have the 10th best roster in the NFL. The 10th best roster in the NFL. Do you know how many of those 10 teams in the AFC? That's where your problem at. 6 of them in the AFC, including Cleveland. They say we have the 10th best roster on paper, and 6 of those 10 in the AFC. That means 5 teams in the AFC got a better roster than us. And we got a quarterback that's a question mark, and none of them do. And none of them do. We have the 11th easiest schedule. I thought it was the 15th easiest. I thought we were right in the middle of the pack. Browns going to be the new Patriots, TD. Back-to-back AFC titles. Man, I will say this. I don't know how they got all that money with a top 5 roster in the NFL, and they still got all that money to spend. Right now, they got money to spend and got a top 5 roster. Plenty money. And I know what they're doing. They just going to kick it to next year. And, oh, my God, they have an opportunity to build a dynasty. This is a rare situation where the way that their books are set up, they're going to be able to absorb a quarterback who's going to count against them over 55, 60 million a year because of the way they did this year. But they're not dumb. The Browns are actually playing some high-level GM work. Deshaun Watson's base salary this year is $1 million, but he'll count $10 million against the cap. But that 50, 40 million that they're saving, they're just going to kick it to next year. And plus another like 20 that they got. They just trying to kick it to next year. They basically got like a $60 million credit right now that they'll be able to spread out over the next 4 years, not including this year, the years after. So in essence, as a team, they're looking at it as we're only paying Watson $35 million a year. That's how they're looking at it mentally, probably. And I didn't even know this. I know his contract upset some people, but I didn't know that it was 100% guaranteed. Because they eat dead cap every year, the full amount. So he's a 100% guaranteed contract. Man, this man got paid like no other. It's crazy. So I hope that ain't the case, that they're the next quote unquote Patriots. I want us to be the next Patriots. When I look at their team, I'm like, compared to ours, their O-line as a whole collective is better. Their running game as a collective is better. Their receiving core is, I got to be honest, y'all will disagree with me, comparable. It's comparable, and I don't think they're done. I'm can I give us the excuse me, can I give us the edge, y'all, in the receiving core? Maybe I'm being a homer. I'll let y'all answer before I continue. 21 did settle, but NFL will use all lawsuits in a suspension decision. The irresponsible behavior that is conduct detrimental is what he did, 8 or season. Well, the NFL is not going to use anything because the mediator, the lady, is going to decide. unless they decide they want to appeal it. Then Roger Goodell has say. Ours is better. Okay, so we got a better receiving core, right? And it ain't crazy by far. They got weapons. I mean, what? Amari Cooper, one of the top receivers. Who all they got over there? I got to remember. I don't even remember. But I will give us the edge on wide receivers as long as we still get that level of Tyreek. They got by far a much more superior quarterback. So at the end of the day, when you look at the offense holistically, well, tight end, I mean, you can argue, but holistically, they got a better offense. Their defense has always been stout, but that's where we're trying to have the edge. But they got more talent, and they got the linebackers and everything. We got the back end in the middle of the line. That's our strength on defense. The interior defensive line and the corners. The secondary. We got to get better at the linebacker position and the edge position. Don't think that you have the best edge, one of the best edge positions in groups in the league, ladies and gentlemen. Jalen Phillips saying scratch the surface of what some of these guys are doing yet. We're hopeful that he will. We believe in him, and I love him. And Agba, a beast in his own right, but still, come on, y'all. Compared to some of these guys in the league. So this is what we were talking about, though. That's what I've been trying to tell y'all. A top 6 roster in the AFC will get you in the playoffs, but it tends to get you a first round exit. Second round at best. And I always look at it like this. How are we going to compete with the other rosters? Well, maybe we compete, right? Because that's where we are now in the place of competing, but we still ain't got a better roster. And what? Who has the right to say Mike McDaniel is a better coach than any one of those coaches in the top 6? There would be nothing but a homer cap coming out. You can't put Mike McDaniel above any coach that's above us, those other 5 teams. So it's like, okay, if Tua takes the next step this year, right? And he gets to those other quarterbacks level, then they're going to say we have a top 5 roster and now we're Super Bowl contenders. But let me ask y'all, yes or no in the comment section. And be honest. I want to, whether you love Tua or not, but I want to try to get people's honest take. Will Tua's big jump this year be on a Mahomes ceiling? Mahomes' best year? Because think about it. We all keep talking about, we keep talking about the big jump. Well, everybody else's big jump was that peak, that best, right? When Mahomes jumped up, it was his 50-50 year, right? Well, 5,050 year, 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, just ridiculous. When Josh Allen jumped, it was his best year. Watson's big year, even though he was balling ever since, it was his best year, right? All these people saying that he's going to make that big jump like the rest of those guys. Now I got to ask you, is Tua's big jump going to be Mahomes' best? Yes or no? Just curious. TD, they're going to sign Fuller, then Odell later. I wouldn't be surprised. They're going to load up. And if we be honest, we don't know what the jump is going to be. But you can't count on that. Is Tua big jump going to be on the level of Josh Allen? His best. Yes or no? Is it going to be on Josh Allen's best level? Is that jump that all y'all see in y'all head, Tua's going to make a big jump this year? Is that going to be on Josh Allen's level? We already know it ain't going to be on Mahomes' level. At least we don't believe it is. Oh, it ain't going to be on Josh Allen's level. Is it going to be on Deshaun Watson's level? His best? Even though he never really had a jump, he's just been great since he came in the league. He's had a jump year with the worst O-line in the NFL, with receivers that was hurt. But it ain't going to be on Watson. Is it going to be a jump like Herbert's rookie season? His best? Are we about to see a Herbert rookie season out of Tua? That's 4. Are we about to see Joe Burrow's best out of Tua? That's 5. That's 5 right there. I can't even say Lamar Jackson because he could put up Lamar Jackson numbers, but he ain't going to add the 900 or 1,000 rushing yards with it. Maybe 300 max. So I can't even I can't compare him to Lamar because it's an unfair comparison. I can't use Lamar. Because from a passing game, he might hit that best year, but it's still short 900 rushing yards. That makes all the difference in a season. We're just talking AFC right now. TD, our Browns DB is better than y'all's. I don't agree with that, G Money. They're great, but they ain't better. And that's why I say it's still got a great D. So I can't use Lamar Jackson. Anybody else in the AFC that people worried about? Oh, I don't even mention Denver lately. I haven't even mentioned Denver lately. And you know why we have the 10th best roster in the NFL and the 6th best in the AFC? You know why? Because of our defense. Y'all think it's because of the offense? Y'all do realize there are only 3 heavy hitters on the offense that they counting in that. That's Teron Armstead, Waddle, and Tyreek. And Gesicki, okay. Excuse me, 4. You know that's all they counting really as heavy hitters on the offense. But on defense, they count Christian Wilkins, Zach Zeiler, Ogba, Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, Javon Holland. They counting more than half of the defense. That's why we have a top roster. When it come offensively, it's like I just named all those quarterbacks, and this is what I'm getting at with this. Even if we get a jump, and it ain't on those guys' level, but it is a jump, how are we still ever supposed to compete? Everybody say through the draft to replace guys that are already all pro right now. What, we got to go through the draft to replace Xavier Howard in 2 years, who's already an all pro, and hope that we could replace an all pro? All the money we got for the future ain't nothing but money for players that's already on this roster. They just not under contract for the future. Oh, the Dolphins got cap space next year. Yeah, but Christian Wilkins, Mike Gesicki, what you gonna do? Use up the cap space or move on from them and hope that whoever you bring in the draft can produce at that level as rookies, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I'm sorry. This is why the goal for Tua Tagovailoa this year is to play as good as Patrick Mahomes, is to play as good as Herbert, to play as good as Burrow, to play as good as Watson, to impact the game just as well as Lamar Jackson, to play as good as Russell Wilson, to play as good as Kirk Cousins, to play as good as Derek Carr, to play as good as Tom Brady. I'm sorry. Let's just call it what it is. These are the only teams to play as good as Aaron Rodgers. These are the only teams that really, truly have a shot every year. And we need to stop settling. The goal this year is for Tua Tagovailoa to be an elite quarterback, not a quarterback you can win games with. Gosh, they have put us in a box that of settling. Do you know that if he played on any of those guys' level, nobody would be able to say a word? I'd be slapping people for talking negative about him. Figuratively, excuse me. You know, some people get personal now. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you need your guy to be that guy that is feared in the NFL. That when you go in a game Sunday, as long as that guy is under center, you got a chance to win the game against any opposing guy. You think the Chiefs feel like they could beat Tom Brady and the Bucs? Yeah. You think Denver feel like they got a shot to beat them this year legitimately? Yeah. You think the Browns with Watson think they could beat them? Yeah. You think Buffalo think they could beat them? Yeah. I'm talking about in a playoff game when it all matters. And we out here talking about building a team by committee and all of this and that. Let's be honest. I'm tired of all these football philosophers, build the team. And don't get me wrong, I used to be one of them. But I'm tired of it. I done learned my lesson. You got to get a dude. And he need to be a dude this year. I've been pushing that bandwagon too because I honestly don't like all the pressure on the kid because it starts to get unfair when you start to realize he just is what he is and he ain't got what he ain't got. He ain't got the cannon like those guys. He ain't got the mobility to be able to put up 500, 600, 700 rushing yards. He ain't got all that. He ain't got the velocity and all of that stuff that these guys have. So it starts feeling unfair. So since it starts feeling unfair, it's like, well, if he could just be a Jimmy G and don't turn the ball over, I found myself getting into that old passive, well, let's just, make everything great around him. And if he could just not turn the ball over and just play a solid, good 70% completion game. And oh my God, I'm starting to realize, what am I doing? I'm compromising with the settle. I'm compromising with settling. I'm tired of it. Let's get a dude. You need to go out this year and be a Mahomes, be a Brady, be a Josh Allen, be a Lamar Jackson, be a freaking Deshaun Watson, be a Russell Wilson, be a Aaron Rodgers, and at a very minimum, outplay a Kirk Cousins and a Derek Carr. all these Jimmy G good enough comparisons, Baker Mayfield comparisons. What are we doing? We keep comparing to people who ain't even good enough to stay on their own team. And Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins is the freaking floor. They put up numbers, but they still can't take over a game. That's the problem with Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr. We had a good conversation recently. It was four of us, me, him, Martin, and one of the other homies that I just met. Hopefully we can have some more good conversations. We had a good conversation recently for about 2 hours on the phone, and we were just debating Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr. We were just talking about it. And, you know, it was funny. We all actually came up with the same conclusion after giving our points, and they all came in the middle. Them some good quarterbacks. But they ain't never enough to carry the team. They just make all the plays. But they ain't wowing you. They ain't taking over a game. They just more consistently than the Jimmy G's and all of them doing their job. But you're not winning with them. You're making a run here and there, but you ain't winning with them because they never can take over at the end of the day. So don't go down too much. And that's the floor of acceptability with Tua, but still, even those two, excuse me, even those two guys, they can't even get it done. They can't even get it done because they just can't take a game over. You know why the Buffalo Bills probably didn't go to the Super Bowl last year? Because they ran into a guy that took the game over. And the sad part is they had a guy that took it over too. But they ran into the one who got the last shot at it. Let me tell you even this. Even with this current roster with Tyreek Hill, y'all think Lord Jesus, y'all think the end of that game would have went that way? Do you see what them quarterbacks had to do? Even with Tyreek Hill now and Teron Armstead, you think that game would have went that way if that was the Miami Dolphins? This see, it comes down to when you gotta solely put it on the quarterback. What happened at the end of that Buffalo Kansas City game? That back and forth was 95% all quarterback. Two guys battling it out with will and determination of just getting the ball down the field for their teams quick and in a hurry and not blinking, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of the time on the clock. You got to be able to have a shootout. And I ain't talking about no 12-play drive shootout. Excuse me. I ain't talking about no 12-play drive shootouts. Another thing we never really got to see. We don't even know what our guy would look like in you're down by 6 and it's a minute and 12 seconds left. We ain't even have we ever seen that situation for us yet? Have we ever seen that situation, y'all? Outside of the bailout by Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's what this year is going to bring us, ladies and gentlemen. With better talent on this team, instead of straight up wins and losses, all better talent does against competitive teams, it puts you in a minute and 12 to go win the game. And guess what? In the last 2 years outside of Ryan Fitzpatrick, we don't have no experience. We have zero experience in that situation. We have zero experience in that situation. And not to mention, we ain't talk about a 2-minute drill. We talk about the minute 12, the minute 34. And I'm going to tell you now, other teams would love to play that against us. You know why? They play deep and play the sidelines, let you catch all them quick passes, and make sure that you stuck at the 18-yard line with maybe 2 plays left with 9 seconds. And you down by 6, just play the end zone. Anybody catch something underneath, come underneath and tackle them because they have zero concern. We have zero experience in those situations. And that's what you should expect to get this year, ladies and gentlemen. With a better roster, now it's going to come down to situational football. Now it's going to come down to situational football. Now it's a whole new element that our guy ain't got no experience doing. We just got experience playing the game. Whole new element with no experience. This is why Martin makes me mad every time we talk. And he'd be like, man, I think we might win 4 games. I'd be like, shut up, man. Stop that craziness. But I got to be honest with y'all. If I'm going to be heartfelt honest, we could easily win between 7 and 9 games. We should win 9 at a minimum with this roster. But we could easily end up winning 7 to 9 games. We should, at a minimum, win 9. But all of our aspirations are at 11. All of our aspirations are sitting at 11. You know the games that's going to matter this year? You know some of the most important games this year. Some of the most important games for us this year, there's 4 off the rip. How we doing these 4 games could mean almost everything. Actually, I have 6, but let me give you the 4 that y'all better pay attention to. Because all these Dolphin fans automatically give them W's. The 4 games that's going to be very important this year. And before I say it, y'all stop naming teams that already expected to beat us. That ain't what I'm talking about. These are teams that we're expected to beat, but you better watch out for these 4 games. Because guess what? We got to go 4-0, and I'm a little nervous about it. It's the 2 Patriots games and the 2 Jets games. Us Dolphin fans, that's a guarantee. Them the 4 games right there. Those are the 4 games that you better keep your eyes open for. And we can't even afford to split them. You split them, you ain't making the playoffs. You got to sweep all 4. And I start with the Patriots. We beat them twice. And I'm going to tell y'all now, I personally feel like Flores had his hand all over it because New England ain't going to stop doing what they do for nobody. And Flores just knew what to do. He knew exactly what to do versus New England. Mike McDaniel, he better show up. I always go back to that first Patriots game, man. Always. That first Pats game. The difference in that game was one player, and that was Devontae Parker. If it wasn't for his 50-50 balls, we wouldn't have had a shot. We would have had a shot, but we would have lost that game. It was two teams that played very similar, but his plays made huge differences in that game. And now they got the 50-50 guy. And who's supposed to be ours? Who our 50-50 guy this year? Tyreek ain't no 50-50 guy. Waddle ain't no 50-50 guy. Cedric Wilson? Okay. Okay. All right. Preston? Okay. Okay. Gesicki? Okay. I think y'all get my point. Carla said the rookie. Man, we going that far? Boy, that'll be the worst way to start the season. Parker getting a W. And don't let him have over 100 yards. Oh my gosh. Don't let him be productive with Mac. Don't let him. But I'm telling y'all, that was the difference in those games. Thank God for Xavier Howard bailing us out. Bailing us out. And don't forget, people don't think about this either in that game. They just think about Xavier Howard, I think, on that punched out fumble at the end or whatever. But they fumbled early in that game too that we took over. Y'all forgot that? Running back ran for like 8 yards. We punched it out. They fumbled early in that game too, if I'm not mistaken. And we got the ball back at around the 50. And we still punted it. We didn't even capitalize off of it. And screw the Patriots. We better beat them. I think we're a better team. And not by far, believe it or not. I just think it's going to come down to who quarterback plays better, and I hope Tua can rise and shine over Mac Jones because Tua got way better weapons than Mac Jones. But we'll see how it turns out. But you know what was funny about that? It ain't even about the Patriots, man. I am telling y'all, I've been telling y'all this for the longest. It used to be the team that I hated the most in the division when I was young, but they sucked so much that I've like whatever with them now. But I'm telling y'all, Salah and those Jets are coming. People don't understand what they have been doing. People don't understand the roster that they've built. People do not understand how they have loaded up, and they don't understand with that losing last year. Let me put it like this. Their losing last year was on par with Flores' first year. Purge the roster, all them injuries, sitting people down. And when you look at what they actually did as a team last year, I ain't talking about the record or the numbers, but when you watch it, because I've watched it, because I'm trying to, I was doing an analysis of the best quarterback in the division. Like real ranking, not the best, but just 1 through 4. And I'm going to tell y'all now, man, Zach Wilson is either going to fall flat on his face or that kid is about to be on a whole different level this year. See, when you watch film and you just see plays that shouldn't be made, that are made, where, dang, did he really just throw that at an angle that's just outside the linebacker over like the back? Oh my, are you serious? Like, it's crazy that he shows up so small in the game, but you see all the arm talent. you actually see the arm talent on film. And you're like, okay, but yeah, he under duress, just like Tua. Excuse me. He ain't got a single receiver that's healthy. All of them hurt. He out here playing with all the third and fourth stringers, similar to Tua on occasions, even though Waddle and Gesicki played the whole year. Half of his O-line is out, Mekhi Becton, all of them. He running for his life every play, but at least he got some wheels to get up out of there. And you look at the arm talent, you're just like, he just got to be a better decision maker. But I also understand that when everything around you is trash, you're going to make bad decisions and take chances. And that's why I've been telling y'all for 2 years, and you can't lie and say that I haven't. I would rather Tua throw 25 picks, taking some shots with this bad O-line and this receiving core the way that it is, than being this only throw it when I feel like it's wide open and this whole take care of the ball. Well, the coach is instructing him. He ain't respect the coaches anyway. You can't have your cake and eat it too. If he was rebelling against the coaches and the golf and all of that, then don't tell me he had to listen to anything they said on that field. No. But I am telling y'all, if Zach Wilson can be a better decision maker, it's going to be scary playing against them. In that defense, our linebacking core ain't close. Tell you that now. And they got a defense. And I know people in the media and players coming out talking about Zach Wilson saying, man, his leap from year 1 to 2, man, is so massive already. Y'all know how I feel about that. Shut up. I got to see it on the field. I don't give no credit to nothing. I don't care. But that's their narrative right now. In their camp, his leap has been astronomical from what they've seen in OTAs. Like, processing everything is like a whole different player. But we'll see. Y'all know me. I ain't giving you credit for nothing. Zach Wilson. But you know what's crazy about that, though? We got all this drama of if our guy's the guy. You know how the Jets feel about their guy? Ain't nobody questioning if he the guy or not. You know what that drama is with Zach Wilson right now? Do y'all even know what the headline is with Zach Wilson right now? He all over Twitter right now. Everybody congratulating and high-fiving him, talking about something about that he hooked up with his mom's best friend or something like that. That's what they talking about in Jets country. Jets fans are hoorahing that he's a dog because he hooked up with his mom's best friend. I'm not making this up. Y'all go to Jets Twitter. That's the big story for the Jets right now. How Zach Wilson, quote unquote, was seeing his mom's best friend or something like that. But that's their drama. They're not wondering if he's gonna be the guy. Everybody like Zach gonna be that dude this year and all this and that. But he got that arm. People get behind that arm. People get behind that arm. It's crazy. Hey TD, did you watch the Pivot podcast with head coach Mike Tomlin? If so, what did you think? Let the Fins fans know. Fins up. I actually did. I was on the road to Miami 2 weeks ago. I was driving to Miami and then I took a flight out to Dallas and I was listening to it on the whole ride. I loved that interview. From Mike Tomlin. I actually learned some things from him. And I respect his humility in his understanding of the team that he has without Ben Roethlisberger going forward. You know, he knows that he can't replace Ben Roethlisberger and the quarterback play may not be what it was. But, you know, he also said since we're saving about $30 million of not having Ben, then he expects to put that $30 million in areas that's going to make up for the lack of. Rich, good luck. Good luck. He also said the thing about Ben Roethlisberger, He knew that he had a chance to win a game in any 2-minute drill. Any 2 minute. 2 minutes left, we got a chance to win, long as Ben got the ball. And that's what I'm scared too. Our guy has no 2-minute experience. None. He young, of course, but with this roster, you don't want to be in every game and losing all the close ones. You know what I mean? Like, imagine that you win 7 games, but you were in like 6 of them where you could have won, but we couldn't pull it out. We just fell short. Oh, do you know the pain? Do you know the pain that would bring? So that interview with Mike Tomlin was very eye-opening. Gave me a whole newfound respect for him. Even the settle mentality, he can never settle, can never be satisfied. He said, you love what he said about Brian Flores. Deep. Yeah, man. He did a good job not being very controversial. And when he brought up Flores, man, he just knows that he got a good football coach, that he's definitely one of the best 32 to do it. And he couldn't miss up on that opportunity. And I love that at first he said he never reached out to Flores because he thought that it would be an insult because he didn't have any. I mean, he can't be the head coach. He didn't have any coordinator positions open either. And he felt like it'll be an insult to offer him any position other than head coach because he is one of the best 32 in this game. And Flores actually reached out to him and asked him for advice. He said, you know, what do you think I should do? Because at the end of the day, I just want to coach. And he told him, he said, well, if you want to, is this just about coaching? Because if it's about coaching, man, and he said, yeah, man, I want to coach. He said, let me call you back. And he said he wrote right down to the owner's office and said, you know, I want to bring this guy in. And the owner was basically like, okay. And he called him right back and basically said, you know, screw the position. You're a coach. It don't matter what position. You're a coach. You're going to be doing some of everything. There's no title or whatever. We're not worried about a title. So, and he brought him in with much respect. He just said he didn't even know Flores before all of this. He just knew that this guy deserved an opportunity. And he also said he wouldn't have bothered him because he also had some jobs in the works, but they didn't end up working out. Flores actually told him that he doesn't believe the Saints and another team was going to hire him based off of the interview. It didn't even seem like it was legit. So he said he just wants to coach. So big ups to Mike Tomlin, though, doing what was right. Because I don't care if you like him as a head coach, a coordinator, or a position coach. Mike Tomlin was the only one that even offered him a job. And at the end of the day, I don't care what you think about Brian Flores. Nobody can say that he ain't qualified to be coaching in this league, even if it's at a lower level. So big ups to Tomlin. And I think that this is huge because it also spearheads him to have an opportunity later on in the future as well. Be with Pittsburgh, do your job, do it well. And he'll find himself, as long as he finds success in what he's doing continuously, he'll find himself in a opportunity again eventually. This will be one of the first situations, like somewhat like a Kaepernick, where the guy actually continues his career and has another shot. I believe that'll happen with Flores. I definitely believe it'll happen. So time will tell. Let it play itself out the way that it is, and we'll see how it goes. Again, I always look at it like this too. No coach is perfect. Every coach has their flaws. It's just how much do you overlook them? Because if Flores was a Miami Dolphin 8-time Super Bowl winner and we drafted Tua 2 years ago and it went exactly like this, nobody would be feeling the way most people wouldn't feel the way they feel and putting it on Flores. But since he didn't have the cachet, sometimes it's about timing. You don't have the cachet. You don't have the, resume and all of that to, even if you're right, Flores could have been right about everything that happened in this organization that we know and we don't know. But it's about timing. And it wasn't your time to instill your rightness or wrongness, whatever it may have been. I don't know. Time will always tell. Because at the end of the day, let me ask people this. If Tua flames out this year, then let's talk about Flores again. All these people saying Flores, then what? If Tua flames out this year, and you got a Mike McDaniel who is the total opposite and giving him everything that he specifically needs, right? Then what? Then what? And again, time will tell. Tua might ball out at an MVP level this year and hoist the MVP trophy. Then we can continue to make assumptions that, yeah, Flores may have been holding him back. Yeah. We don't know. But time, that's why that's my favorite mantra, man. Time always tells. It really does, y'all. It always tells. Especially in this sense. In the game of football, time always tells. Because everything runs its course. You can't hide in the NFL forever. What we thought was right, it has to sustain to know that it really was. That's why it's this whole thing that, look, if Tua fails this year, that don't mean that he was a bust. He might go somewhere else and be an MVP and win 10 Super Bowls. We don't know. But all you can do is go off of now, but be mature enough to adjust your evaluation as time goes on. And that's what people love and hate about this channel. I give you what the current status is. And as more information continues to come forward, I continue to evaluate and update and give a new analysis or a different perspective or an altered or whatever it may be. But it's the truth. And it's fair. And it's right where it is. It ain't where I want it to be. It's right where it is. Some people love it. Some people hate it. But I also recognize a lot of people want to live in the game realm of, I want to be the one that guess it, and then it comes true. Nothing's wrong with that. But you got to stop being mad and hating on the man who not guessing it. He's just telling you what it is right now and that it still could come true, even if that man says it's not likely. That's truly what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I personally feel like every individual who says that Tua is about to have a massive leap, because he's about to be top tier quarterback, he's about to ball out and become a franchise quarterback this year, they have zero evidence to support or suggest that. Zero. When the truth is, they hope he does. They're guessing and hoping he does so that when he does, they can say, I told you so. And nothing's wrong with that. But make sure you put that in the right category. You know what that is? A fan. And nothing's wrong with that. But make sure you're recognizing you are a fan, because in 3 weeks, TD is going to go right back into fan mode and tell the world that the Miami Dolphins are about to win the Super Bowl. There ain't zero evidence to support that. But I am a fan, and every year my team is about to win the Super Bowl. Because I believe it and I hope it, because I love them so much. And I just want to see greatness. And if we do it, I told y'all. And that ain't nothing but being a fan, and nothing's wrong with that. So I'm not knocking. I don't knock people for being fans. But stop acting like you're being critical and analytical. Stop acting like you're evaluating the truth in reality. Stop lying to people to make $1. And stop getting mad at people that tell the truth and don't live in the realm of being a fan 24/7. And I would love to be a fan 24/7. But guess what? Outside of my business, my personal business of income, this is my job. I made this my job officially last year. I am seeking for this to supersede my business income. And that is my goal, to get there one day. This is my job. And if I'm going to make this my job, I'm going to operate in good business. And in order to give good business, I got to be honest. And I will tell you when I'm fanning out. But outside of that, I made a decision. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give y'all the real takes so you know what to expect. So we know where we made good decisions. We know where we failed, and we can evaluate this so that eventually we'll know on this channel that when the Dolphins make a decision, we can sit there and be like, what are y'all thinking? We already know how this works. When they make a decision, we will be able to say, now we talking. You see? That's the problem with the Miami Dolphins. We don't have a system. And I'm not talking about an offensive system, a defensive system. We don't have an organizational system. And let me backtrack on that. We do have an organizational system, but obviously it doesn't work. We need someone that's going to create an organizational system. And how do you create an organizational system that is tried and true and works? You have to do exactly what I do and evaluate it all for what it is and be honest and tell the truth. That's step number one. And once you know that, you'll know how to build a real team. You'll know what you should be aggressive for. You'll know what areas you should be developing and trying to figure it out that way. You'll know every aspect of how you should run this organization. We have had nothing but a losing system, ladies and gentlemen. A losing system. And if you're a real Dolphin fan, you got to be tired of it. And this is where we get all mixed up and jumbled, because the reason why it doesn't seem like enough people are tired is because the people that aren't tired aren't really Dolphin fans. They're Alabama fans. Stop thinking that they're you. Stop thinking that they're us. I keep telling y'all, Tua got traded tomorrow. They all leaving. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. We'll find out this year. We'll find out this year. And I'm going to take a second to do this. I'm going to put my Tua near cap on real quick. If I was a Tua near, I'd still be outraged. If I was a Tua near, I would still be unsatisfied. I would still be unsatisfied right now. I would literally be saying, well, you know what Tua is? Why don't you have that right side solidified? Didn't he get hurt from the right side? Didn't he miss games from the right side? Why you over there experimenting? Why y'all playing? You want to go get Tyreek? See, I'm telling y'all not listening to me, man. I am telling y'all, everybody, like so many people are like, nah, I don't think so. I think Greer on the hot seat. Y'all are not paying attention. Greer is the furthest guy away from the freaking hot seat, in my opinion. This man has already secured his job for next season. Chris Greer has already put us in a situation where he said, I got you the best offensive lineman available. I got you the best receiver available. I mean, what do y'all want me to do? Matter of fact, y'all already raving about it. Y'all happy. Y'all like Chris Greer, GM of the year again. Y'all said that 2 years ago, and then it got muddy for me. But now I'm back to being GM of the year. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all. Chris Greer was like, oh my gosh, it's going south. There's only one way for me to be secure. And Chris Greer will always look out for Chris Greer, and I don't blame him. I would too. Chris Greer said, what you need? What you need? You need a top receiver? Andy, man, y'all know y'all ain't finna sit there and pay Tyreek. I'm going to send you over some of these draft picks. And yep, don't worry about it. Yep, I'll give you that one too. Yep. Don't worry about the salary. We're going to offer way more than y'all were willing to. We'll get him off your hands. Yep. Tyreek, we're going to make you the highest paid in the league. Highest paid in the league. And the man sat there on camera. I ain't talking about his podcast. Go do your research. The man sat there on camera. I never wanted to leave Kansas City. The Miami or the Jets, I wouldn't come into them. But when that money, you can't turn down that kind of money. You can't turn down that kind of money. You think it's in Chris Greer's DNA to make him the highest paid? In any ordinary season, Chris Greer was not going to get that man $30 million a year. Chris Greer give you money like that and trade assets away when he just trying to, hey, I did what the coach wanted. You sure you want me to get Jerome Baker this money? Hey, I did what he wanted, Ross. He the one that wanted me to pay Baker that money. I'm trying to work with him. I'm trying to get along with him. I'm trying to give and take. You can't put this on me. Y'all got to pay attention to this stuff. Chris Greer, that ain't in Chris Greer's philosophy. Chris Greer don't do stuff like that, because if he did stuff like that, he would have gave Laramie Tunsil the money. Chris Greer ain't giving you money and giving away draft picks to do it. Otherwise, he would have kept Laramie Tunsil. Chris Greer, the main one, he looking to trade a Tyreek for a haul. Y'all think that, oh, well, if this roster don't do nothing, Chris Greer got to go. This man done did what he had to do. I gave you the best receiver in the league. I gave you the best left tackle in the league. I even helped you with another lineman that a top guard that can play center or whatever. You can't, but whatever. We'll see. I mean, I can't give you everything, but I can give you the best that I can give you. And everybody's singing his praises. He back out the doghouse. Chris Greer for president. And believe it or not, whether y'all want to believe this or not, I actually love Chris Greer as a general manager. I actually love Chris Greer as the general manager. The problem, I don't like what he did this offseason, to be quite honest with you, but it is what it is. I know why he did it, and I'm explaining to y'all that's why he did it. He basically said, I gave you everything. This is all for me. I gave you the 10th best roster in the NFL. If you don't make the playoffs, that ain't got nothing to do with me. If you don't have no success, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I did my job. Is everybody under contract? Yep. Do I got Gesicki happy on the franchise? Yeah. He ain't tripping. Ain't nobody tripping. I picked up Christian Wilkins' 5th-year option. Everybody taking care. You ain't going into camp with not one player talking about, I want my money. I'm sitting out. You ain't got no drama. I gave you all that. This is the first year. Your first year as a head coach, Mike McDaniel. You see this, right, Stephen Ross? Your first year as a head coach, you coming into a seamless situation with a top 10 roster as a rookie coach. Who get to do that? Who get to do that, ladies and gentlemen? And you think Chris Greer is on a hot seat? You think Chris Greer? I be trying to tell y'all. Chris Greer, he ain't one go get no Tyreek Hill. And I still maintain the fact that Chris Greer was one of the main ones that wanted to go get Watson too. Everybody trying to know it was this person, it was that person. It was that whole front office wanted to go get Watson. The problem was it was too scary of a PR situation. And it kept holding them back. It kept holding them back. Chris Greer gave y'all everything he needed to save himself. And let me tell you the cherry on top. This is why I love Chris Greer. I got to give him his props. And he did it without sacrificing his backup plans. Still got 3 first-round picks. Still got second-round picks. Still, excuse me. Still got all them picks. Through all of this, still got his picks. If it fail, I'm still here next year. And I get to go get a guy. And that guy is probably, matter of fact, Chris Greer probably like, man, if I can get Brady, if this failed, let me tell y'all something. I got to be honest with y'all. No, I'm going to take it even a step further. Now, this is when TD going on his rants, okay? I'm going to take it a step further. Chris Greer probably feel like it's even better in his interest if Tua fail at this point. Think about it. If Tua do all right or better and we still debating, that's not good. Now it puts more attention on, now it puts more pressure on me to get even better around them to try to get over the hump. Tua doing better ain't doing nothing but putting even 10 times more pressure on me, especially when he ain't one of those dudes. He became good, but he ain't one of them dudes. So that puts more pressure on me to find extraordinary talent to uplift this team to a point to where we can make up for the quarterback being good, but not one of them dudes. Chris Greer probably like, hey, if it fail, it fail. Because if it fail, I'm going to work my behind off to try to go get Brady for 1 year. I'm going to take all them draft picks and I'm going to go get a Bryce Young or somebody else. And right there alone, I got 3 more years, 2 to 3 more years, automatic. 3 probably, because if I can get Brady for 1 year, we might win a Super Bowl. That might give me the next 5 years. Just keeping it 100 when you really think about it. Nobody wants Tua to fall more than TD. Where do I benefit from that? Where do I benefit from that? I don't know how many times I got to keep telling y'all it's not lucrative to be honest about Tua. And if he falls, where do I benefit? A day of saying, I've been telling y'all this. And then we moving on to the next guy like everybody else? All right, who we got in the draft? Who you think we're looking at? All right, so you think if we could get Brady, we can excuse me, now we talking about future plans again. Everything moves on. If Tua fails, the very next day, everything moves on. Season's over. All right, man, what's our plan? You think we can go get Brady? You think he gonna retire? You think we gonna be drafting? We having conversations about the new quarterback. Now we're evaluating college quarterbacks. Now we're watching in November, we watching these guys because we already know he failing. Ain't no benefit for him failing. You fail. Bye. Next. Where do I benefit? It's no benefit. Now, with so much to gain by TD if he succeeds. Tua balls out this year, MVP status. Then you get to hear one of his biggest critics be honest about great play, giving real feedback about the intangibles that he's displaying, what he's doing, how he's earning his right, how he's definitely stepped up to become our franchise quarterback. We got our future. Now the conversation in the offseason, hopefully they can cut Teddy Bridgewater, say that $6 million a year, help us out next year. Keep developing Skyler as a solid backup. Now we get to talk about, man, what we going to do with these first-round picks. We got 2 first-round picks. We get to talk about, man, are we going to go get another corner? Who we going to get? Who the best guy available? Is he a day one guy that's going to be able to take over for Byron Jones? Do we have a guy that's going to be able to take over for Gesicki, or are we resign? We talk about the team. Now we talking about what matters most. At this point, it ain't nothing to talk about with the rest of this roster. Everybody know who they are, what they going to contribute. Everybody knows what we got on this roster. We just don't know what's on the right side of the line, our quarterback, and will we actually have a good running game, and can our linebacker step up? That's it. If we can get great quarterback play from Tua and he can succeed, that's when it's good for me. That's when everything is positive from a number standpoint. It's lucrative. It's all of that. I'm being honest. It is. Time always tells, man. Time always tells. And we getting closer and closer to that time. Closer and closer. Tyree say this dude needs to find another team. Can he do a show without talking Tua Tagovailoa for 2.5 years? This guy TD is talking about Tua. Tyree, what would you like me to talk about, Tyree, in regards to the Dolphins? What would you like me to talk about? And I'll actually wait, Tyree, for your response, because this is gonna be interesting. I want to hear what do you want me to talk about? We have San Fran's first round pick in 2023. If Trey Lance struggles and they trade Debo in the middle of the season, that could be a top 5 pick. I've thought about that. But let me tell you something. I have no faith in San Francisco not doing well, because last year we tried to play that game. Remember? That's what I wanted last year. Man. And they just kept winning games. That defense kept keeping teams down. Y'all saw me. I was tracking it all year. San Francisco lost, y'all, so that's good. We in the top pick here. Then these fools make the playoffs. They make the playoffs. Just our luck. So, Tyree Tate, I was still waiting on you to tell me, what would you like for me to talk about? And you make a good point. Somebody just made a good point. Wait, you've been here for 2.5 hour hate watching. Ain't that crazy? You've been here for 2.5 hours, but been watching the whole time. He goes TD. They always go ghost. Them just my, little naggers. They can't tell me. See, right now he probably like, okay, I want you to talk about um the defense. What about him? What about him? What about him that we all don't already know that I've told us that ain't controversial, by the way? That ain't a question. We know what it is. Our strength is the interior D-line, beastly. Our secondary is the strength. We ain't got no questions whatsoever. We not worried. We go to war with the best of them. Linebackers just ain't great. Just keeping it a buck. And they ain't going to be until they prove it. In the defensive ends, can we get an organic pass rush? What else you want me to say about that? And is anybody disputing what I'm saying? No. So it ain't a conversation. Every show is having conversation about typically disputed opinions. When you turn on ESPN or FS1 in the morning, it's a debate show. They're going back and forth off of opinions. Well, I agree with what was said here, or I disagree with what was said there. If everybody agree, nobody cover it. Because we all on the same page. What's understood ain't got to be explained. But if you think I hate Tua, then obviously you don't understand me, and that's why I continue to explain. It's that simple. All right. Read this. But yeah, as far as the San Francisco thing, man, it is what it is. How many games will it take for us to be sure Tua is the guy? Is it playoffs or a Super Bowl? I got to be honest with you, C007. I got to be honest with you. We don't know how many games it's going to take. Let me tell you why. I know everybody's going to want to say, you'll know in those first 4 games. You'll know in those first 5 games. You won't know until you know. And here's why. What if the first 4 games we are running the heck out of the ball and we're like, man, we're gashing every team for 180. Tua's throwing the ball 18 times. He 14 of 18, beautiful percentage, 1 touchdown, no picks, whatever. 2 touchdowns, no picks. I don't know, but whatever. 178 yards. We don't need much. The defense is balling. We winning games and we beating the best teams. That still don't tell us if he the guy. We will only know if he the guy in the situations and the moments where he has to carry us. And we don't know what the team as a whole is going to do and when we will be in those situations. We could play Tennessee tomorrow and the run game just shocks us and we have a different outcome. The defense shuts them down. We will have no clue until we have a clue. And when we know Tua the guy, we all will know. We all will know. We're not talking about you threw 30 times and had 80% completion like last year. See, people try to make those games the justification. Situational football, when it gets rough and tough, will be the moments when we find out if he's the guy. And we got to wait to see what team matches up against us that puts us in that situation. So we don't know. We don't know. We have no clue. Some people say, well, if they took it out of his hands, that that should say enough. I'm not going to be unfair to him like that. Well, it's not his fault that they were running the ball. Exactly. I'm not going to be unfair to him. I need to see the game. And this is what makes me scared about Mike McDaniel too. He has no evidence either, even in his little coaching circle area of what we've seen him do in San Francisco. He has no proof of changing up a game plan in a game. You want to know the biggest evidence we have of that? Remember when we blew them out? They never changed up anything. They kept trying to do what they do best. And now, and a lot of coaches are like that. We do what we do best. It's going to beat majority of the teams, but we're always going to run into somebody that smacks us in the mouth, but we'll keep doing what we do. Remember when we blew out San Francisco? When our defense shut their offense down, made them look like Pop Warner offense? So there's a lot of factors, man. You can't just put a win-loss on Tua. You can't put we didn't play well today on Tua. You can't put he only had 150 yards as his problem. You got to watch the game and see what he could control. So I can't tell you by which game. I'm hoping that early tough slate puts us in some testing, trying situations. I'm hoping that so that we see what we have. But there's a world where our defense shuts everybody down. We get picks. Tua gets the ball at the 20-yard line 5 times a game, and he scores 4 touchdowns every week. That still don't tell me he the guy either. We got to watch these games. It'll be easier to know he ain't the guy than it is to know he is. That's the tough part. That's the tough, daunting task for him this year. The fact that it will be easier to identify that he's not the guy than it will be to know if he is. It's going to be tough. We got to watch these games. They already built the team to try not to put everything on him. San Francisco's success worked out for us. If San Francisco had a bad season in 2022, would we have traded a top 5 pick for Tyreek Hill? I'd rather have Hill than whoever we would have drafted in the top 5. I'll push back on that. Let me tell you why. So what if well, hold on, back up now. If we had a top 5 pick, I got to push back on that big time. Let me tell you why. We don't know what Tua's going to be with Tyreek. We don't know the value of this. I know you would rather have Tyreek, but we're talking Chris Greer. You got a number 5 pick and not crazy ton of holes with the receiving class that was massive. No, I have faith that Chris Greer would have ended up, if we had a top 5 pick, Chris Greer would have had 4 first rounders next year. And we would have still picked a receiver in the draft last year, a young guy. I truly feel like Chris Greer would have ended up having 4 first rounders next year. He would have flipped that number 5. He would have had 4 first rounders next year, and then we would have drafted a receiver, and we would have saved $30 million. Well, we would have paid the draft pick, but you would have saved a net of about $20 million. Gesicki could have been signed on a long-term deal. You could have already had Christian Wilkins' contract done. And you got four first rounders next year. I'm sorry. I understand. But if I had Brady, Watson, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, all of these, Aaron Rodgers, all of these elite quarterbacks, then I'm with you. I would have Tyreek'd all day because we going for it now. We don't know if we going for it now. We hoping for it now. That's the difference. We're getting guys to see if we got a guy versus having a guy and going to get people to go for it. That's the difference. So, no, I would have, if a top 5 pick, I would have had that pick and I would have traded it for future assets and we would have been lit next year if we had to be. If we had to be. Because there have been quarterbacks. Tua has a receiving group now that's top 3 in the NFL. Many can argue. He just got something that Most quarterbacks go their entire career not having. Most quarterbacks can go their whole career and not have a Tyreek Hill and a Waddle across from each other. So, hey, that's what we did with the number 3. With number 3. Yeah. You always give yourself insurance. That's why I love Chris Greer. Whatever draft picks he has, he also finagle it to where he gets insurance. If it don't work, I got another one next year. He always create insurance. Which is better, drafting a guy and having insurance or just drafting a guy? You think we would have picked that number 5 overall if we had the 5th overall pick? No, not with this roster. He would have dropped down in the late teens of the first round and picked up another one for next year or two. That simple. Tua fans don't even want competition for Tua. I mean, y'all gotta understand, man. I realize you can't blame these people. They're fans. I don't want competition for my favorite player either, because I just want to watch my favorite player because I am a fan of my favorite player. People don't want competition for their favorite player. You could take it right now, whoever your favorite NBA player is, right? If you bring in another guy that might be just as good or even better at that position, and all the other positions are solidified, it's like, oh man, is my guy gonna start? I'm a fan of my guy. I want to watch my guy. I just want to watch my guy. I want to see my guy succeed. I want to see my guy's future. That's the thing about going from college to the NFL. You're invested in these guys, and you have a right to be. That's why I'm telling y'all, these people that obsess over Tua, they're not doing anything wrong. It's just the fact of how they try to instill that on other people that don't. That's the only issue. That's the only issue. So ain't nothing wrong with, man, I just want to see Tua. Even if he didn't make it in Miami, these same people would be like, man, I hope somebody pick him up. Ooh, they picked him up and they got a quarterback controversy. He got a battle. Okay, maybe this will be work for him. They over there vouching for him, rooting for him. They doing their job, man. I get that. So, and they're going to be biased and they're going to demonize the opposition. They're going to amplify anything the opposition does wrong and amplify anything their guy does right. That's human nature. It's normal. I don't fret about that. But when we enter this realm and we having real conversation, don't try to get mad at me because I'm just being honest. You're right, unless your favorite player is Jordan. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I want Jordan, though. See, when I ain't got no vested interest, I want Jordan. I told y'all, ever since Tannehill, I ain't got no bias for no player. On the Miami Dolphins, I've been a fan too long and saw too many people at too many positions come in and out, falling in love. I was the first one screaming about Rashad Jones. I was the first one. I like G5, but let that man go. What are y'all doing? This man out here on this bummed up knee and y'all gave him that money just like Xavier Howard? That's how I was with Rashad Jones. And what did we get from Rashad Jones his last 3 years? A freelance guy that didn't even do what the play called sometimes. Still loved him, but at the end of the day, I stopped being a fan of players. I'm a fan of this team now. Players that I really have the sense of it ain't nothing but business at this point. Until we win a Super Bowl and have a dynasty and I start having heartfelt feelings for specific people. But until then, you ain't nothing but a guy with a number on your jersey. And Dominican Sue should have taught y'all that. Cameron Wake should have taught y'all that. In all the years he gave us, it was always business for him. I always recognize Cameron Wake. Every time we read up his contract, he said the same thing on cue. I guess y'all bought me for another few years. I guess I'll be in Miami for another few years. It was never, man, I'm so happy to be in. No, it was, I guess y'all got me for another few years. It was always business to him, and that's who actually taught me. Then it's got to be business as a fan. We fall in love with these guys and getting mad at teams for moving on. It's the element now. Get used to it. Get used to it. You don't think if somebody picked up the phone right now and said, Chris Greer, I give you 4 first-round picks for Waddle, Chris Greer ain't sitting there calling Ross and calling everybody and having a board meeting, sitting there talking, hey, man, you know, lost your mind. I'm telling you. It's a business, man. I ain't fretting over no player. Go do your job, win us a Super Bowl, and then you can start pulling on my heartstrings. Because if you don't win a Super Bowl, you going to come and you going to go. You going to come and you going to go. Tired of these great players giving a whole career, what, to be in a ring of honor? I want a Super Bowl. Oh, not that Super Bowl. Super Bowl. EM said at TD, actually, it was me that taught you that approach. EM, you never won a debate, man. So how could you teach me something? That's why I'm not worried about 2 years from now, this year only. Yep. 1 year at a time, but I do focus on the future because the moves we make now can handicap us for the future. We got to be real careful about that. You got to be real careful about that. I mean, people think that this team is invincible. All right. It ain't going to happen. Tyreek, ACL, training camp. What is this team? The same team as last year? With Armstead, who is projected to play only 8 excuse me, only projected to play 8 to 10 games based off of history. Y'all see that? I could go down the list and talk and name 5 players that them alone, something happened. What is this team? Lord knows. We definitely don't want nothing to happen to Tyreek. We're going to need every bit of him this year. We're going to need every bit of him. But we go into every year expecting everything perfect to happen, everything to work out. We don't expect Waddle to have a Will Fuller finger injury. We expect Teron Armstead to do something he did in 8 years, play a full season. We expect all 3 of them running back, 2 of the top running backs that's supposed to be our top running backs, Mostert and Edmonds. We expect both of them to have a healthy season that they just can't have. Y'all see all this? And this is why I was saying this a few minutes ago. I said, if I was a Tua in there, I'd still be mad. Because if you going to do all this for Tua, then why you stop there? You got money left. Go get a right tackle. Because things are going to happen in the season. So since things are going to happen in the season, at least solidify this roster so much that we can absorb some of those things happening. Go get a right tackle. Go get a real center. Did anybody pick up J.C. Treader yet? Just curious. Even a guy with a labored injury, you went and got Armstead. I wouldn't take my foot off their neck right now. I'd be like, man, go finish that O-line. All those guys can be some continuing developing depth. Go get that O-line. JC wants too much. He don't want too much. I mean, the price is going to come down. He ain't signed. So he can want what he want, but he ain't signed. All I'm saying is as training camp goes and this interior D-line keep abusing us like they've been doing in camp, this interior D-line keep abusing us, and I don't want the excuse of, well, our interior D-line is good. You know how many lines are good in this league on the defensive side of the ball? Mix that with a slow blinker. Oh, my gosh. You need the best that you can. So in camp, if that interior O-line is struggling, I don't care if he costs too much. What are you trying to go for here? Do you believe you can win a Super Bowl with Tua or not? See, that's why Greer and them get paid the big bucks. That's why TD ain't the GM. They have to know right now if they believe they could win a Super Bowl with Tua or not. Because if they don't believe it, then they have already failed us by continuing this show. But they obviously believe it. And if you believe it, then why aren't you doing everything to cater to it? Whether they right or wrong. But they got to stand by their beliefs. But again, Chris Greer, in my opinion, playing politics, don't truly believe it, but he gonna get you whatever you need to make you. That's gonna make you feel like they believe it. This is all on Ross, not Greer. Ross mandated that the next coach will determine who our quarterback will be, not Chris Greer. Ross mandated that, and Chris Greer was very specific to tell y'all. Mike and his coaches mulled over all the film, and he didn't say we, he said they believe we can win with Tua. Shag Finn said, why don't you do this as an exercise, TD? Spend the next show on what you like about the Dolphins and tools we have that will get us to the Super Bowl without downing the team player. How about I do it now? Now, it ain't going to be long, number one. And number two, outside of it not being long, we all agree on it. So, what do I like about the Miami Dolphins? The number one thing I like about the Miami Dolphins right now is the fact that we have insurance just in case things don't go right. We have insurance just in case things don't go right. I'm going to go through every position with you and tell you what I like. Every single player. Xavier Howard. I like that he's going to be with us this year and maybe next year, but he's not even the future. He's a right now situation because he's getting older. How long can he play at this level? So I like that he's with us this year in the year that we're going to try to do something. Byron Jones, same difference. He's on a shorter lease than Tua. Than Xavier Howard. He'll be out of here before X. So I like that they'll be here this year. But outside of that, it's hard for me from the two boundary positions to really say something I like because these guys aren't going to be here more than maybe 2 years. They're just a right now thing. So right now I like that they're here and they're good players. Is there anything else that anybody can add about Xavier Howard and Byron Jones that we can say that we like? I want to try this exercise. I'm going to tell you what I like. And then I want to see if anyone can add on to it so I can see what I'm missing. What else do you like about X and Byron's situation with the team right now? Other than the normal, we know that they're two good players that are perfect for this scheme. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen, about Byron Jones and X that I can report that we like outside of the obvious? Nothing. Okay. Now, our safeties. I love the fact that we're getting younger. I like that we still have Eric Rowe. We're not strapped for cash. If we were, we can move on from him and save some money. We have that flexibility. I love that situation with the team right now. And I love that we're already replacing our future at the position with Javon Holland and Brandon Jones. Now, this is only about what I like, but I like that Javon Holland is a thumper. I like that he's been very productive for us. That's about it, because, and I'm going to say this and not elaborate so I can stick with the like stuff. I don't know if Javon Holland is that dude officially yet, because our defense, the way we run our scheme, it's perfect for any safety. It's perfect for any safety. I showed y'all a film with the Patriots the other day where the first play of the game, Eric Rowe and Brandon Jones was at safety and Javon Holland was on the line of scrimmage. I've seen Holland make some plays at the raw position, but what happens if X and Byron's gone and he has to actually be in the position 80% of the time? Because right now he's only in a position about 40% of the time. The other 60, he's at the line of scrimmage. He's coming down to play linebacker. He's coming to play the crossing route. He even gets down in the slot sometimes. He's the Swiss Army knife. But if you don't have X and Byron, he's not going to be allowed to do that anymore. And I would like to see him in a really sole safety position. And then I get to see how like really who he truly is. So I love that we're replacing that position, and we're already bringing in the youth. Somebody said you're over exaggerating. No, I'm not. We actually went over the stats like a few weeks ago, and we talked about we went over the stats. I forgot what stat was it, y'all, where we were talking about certain players at certain positions that's not what they're listed as. And I think he like tripled. He's like the most blitzing safety in the NFL, basically, something like that. Shows you. And then when you look at some of the top safeties in the NFL, they're not even close to blitzing as much as him. They use Holland in the box more than y'all think, than y'all know. And shockingly, Brandon Jones even more. So let's just be clear here. They are not using those guys in a traditional safety role often as you think, because of the system we run. And our system we run is only allowed because of Byron and X. Because we've paid these guys to the point where we don't need the traditional guys having their back all the time. So understand my philosophy here. If you don't have Byron and X, which you might need to get ready for in 2 years, about, and maybe even 1 year after this year when Byron's gone, possibly. When you ain't got those guys and those guys got to just primarily be safeties, let's see what they are. You see? So, again, I evaluate everything. I'm not just going to go off of, why he ain't make the Pro Bowl? You see what I mean? Why he ain't, Pro Bowl ain't this and that. I'm just saying, just keep it a buck. He's a great safety. He's playing his role with this team 100, and I love it. But don't be blinded. In this system, I wouldn't want anyone better. I'd rather him than Minka, to be honest with you. I love what he's doing, and he laid that hat. Oh, I love Holland. But it's still some things to be seen. Okay? Just saying. All right. It's like me. It's like Steph Curry. Say you never seen Steph Curry play a day in your life, but he gets to the rim on every single play in easy layup. I don't know how his 3-point shooting is until I see it. Oh, he that dude. He put up 30 a game. Yeah, but they all twos. I don't know if he can even shoot the three until I see it. Well, of course, we know Steph is the best of all time shooting the three. But that's all I'm saying. Y'all got to understand what defensive schemes we run and stuff. And some people get mad about what I just said. What I just said is all facts. I ain't trying to bring anybody down, but I love what we're doing by already starting to have our future take over in that position, those positions. Okay. What else? We did the boundaries, we did the safeties, right? Let's go down to the linebackers. I don't love nothing. Well, you said all good things about the Dolphins. We got Tyndall, and we hopeful that he's great. That's it. I ain't got nothing positive to tell you about the linebacking core. I ain't got nothing positive to tell you about the linebacking core. Whole bunch of guys that if they play 40% of the snaps, then they are productive. But when you give them 80%, they either run tackle, or they pass coverage. Rarely both. I don't like that. I'm sorry. I ain't got nothing positive to tell you about the linebacking core. Okay? That's just my opinion. Talented guys, but overall, sorry. Can't find nothing positive. Just keeping it a buck. EM said Javon Holland has proven to instinctual enough and has displayed the athleticism to play at a very high level in a traditional single high safety role. I agree, EM. I think he will, but I got to see him in it more. You know how sometimes them guys get bored back there. Sometimes they're less productive because they're back there and they're not able to do what you see what I mean? So he could be he has showed that he could play a high level at the traditional safety role, but sometimes it still gets lost in transition because you're in a traditional role. Say you're in a cover 2 all day and they're not going deep and they're just killing you underneath all day. You're just another safety out there. You see what I mean? And those guys so basically only in this system will we get the max out of him, which is amazing. But in a traditional role, he's going to be solid, in my opinion. It's just, it ain't going to be able to get the max out of him. That's why we need to keep boundary corners, because you got a weapon like him who can roam everywhere and disrupt offenses. But anyway, back to the linebackers, nothing. I ain't got nothing positive to tell you about the linebackers, okay? D-line, the edges. Again, scheme specific. It takes a lot of stress off when you put 7 guys on the line when you got 6 blockers and somebody coming free. And I'm telling y'all, the way our scheme is designed, this is the essence of our zero, okay? Because most of the time we don't even send the zero. We usually send the zero on early downs, by the way. We don't really even zero. We just give the zero look. This is what it is. 7 guys at the line of scrimmage. Okay. Somebody on that line of scrimmage it's one of those linebackers or safety, whatever one in the box. They have the running back. Another one has a tight end. If they lined on the line, every skill position on the line or in the backfield, somebody has them when they're at the line of scrimmage. And when the ball hikes, everybody takes a step forward and engages, touches a man. Whoever is not getting touched, it is their job to go. Unless the man, like say it's a safety in the box and they know they got the running back. He's coming for the quarterback, but if his man goes, he goes out with them. He follows. They always give a look that will send one man more than they have to block. So whoever the empty man is that doesn't have anybody, it is his job. If he's not engaged, go. Now, there are always 3 people on the line of scrimmage, depending on the play they call in the zero, because they got different plays in the zero look. There are always 3 guys, depending on what they call, depending on the strong side, how many receivers over here, how many over there, that are not going to fully pursue the quarterback. They're just giving the intention that they are. It could be Christian Wilkins on a play. Hut, take a step forward, engage. I am not coming after the quarterback. I am going to engage for a full second. And then, as long as I'm engaged, I'm backing out in the coverage. 3 guys are going to do that. Soon as I'm engaged, I'm backing out in the coverage, trying to take away a lane. We got 3 receivers over here. I'm backing out this way, trying to take away a lane, a slant or whatever, or already in pursuit to make the quick tackle. That's all it is. If Christian Wilkins, they hike the ball and nobody block him, he got to go. He got to go. That's what that defense is. That's why you see so many sacks and freelance plays where nobody touched the guy that made the sack. Nobody touched the guy that created the hurry, because we always line up to give you one more than you can block, and everybody will engage someone. And after that 1 second, the person that's unengaged, it is their job to put everything they got to go get them. And then the few that they supposed to back out, they back out after a second, and the other guys try to win their battle. So why do I bring this up? It's open season for the linebackers, the defensive ends. They get easier sacks at times. All of them, like I haven't looked at the numbers, but I'm willing to bet that every linebacker and every lineman on our defense, every linebacker and every lineman on our defense at least got 2 or 3 sacks. Every single one of them. Almost every single one of them got 2 or 3 sacks. And when you go look at their sacks, especially the linebackers, you'll see that they're unabated to the quarterback, coming straight at them, and they were in a zero look at the line of scrimmage. You'll see Brandon Jones or Javon Holland on the edges, ready to send that speed to the quarterback. So the only reason we do that is because, number one, we can, we can because of those lockdown corners. And number 2, we still haven't proven to have an organic pass rush, one that you could send 4 and make just as much chaos. Because anybody, if you could send 4 and create that kind of chaos, you're going to use them 3 guys back there in the secondary right away. Right away. So the defensive end position, I love that we got young with Jalen Phillips. He's athletic and explosive. That needs to translate into a whole nother level this year. And Ogba, we got another really good guy, a guy who's going to work hard and go after it on every play. And in a traditional system, he's going to get you the sacks, but he's all you got that's proven. But I like where we are, because running the zero, this defense can be unstoppable as long as we don't run into a quarterback that's bleeding us in it, that's making us pay. And the truth is, we have ran into quarterbacks that have made us pay. Think about the quarterbacks we've run the zero against. What great quarterback have we destroyed with the zero outside of Lamar Jackson? But we already know it's not as hard because he relies on his ability to run the ball. But in a zero look, there is 0 lanes to run the ball. What great quarterback have we destroyed like we destroy when we destroy people? When we played the Jets and, they just couldn't do nothing. When we play all those teams that just can't do nothing against it, when we go on our win streak. But what great quarterback have we? And that's why this year is going to be interesting, because I think that I don't think they're going to take that approach as much. Not against the great teams. Because let me tell you what they don't want to do. They don't want to give easy points. They don't want to give easy points against the greater teams. They don't want to give up the easy points against the greater teams. Like, dang, they got us. Yeah, look how easy it was too. 80-yarder. They don't want to. Tom Brady 2019. EM, stop. You mean when he threw that pick six and stuff, when he gave up on the team? Yeah, he did. Tom Brady gave up on the team. But that's another thing, EM. You gonna do that to a great quarterback more than once? You gonna do that twice to a great quarterback? I want to see how Lamar Jackson reacts this year if we do it again. Anybody we've done it to in the past as well, teams have definitely had to have worked on it. Because another team that does this often, Buffalo. When I watch their film, I never really watch a lot of Buffalo film, but I've been watching a lot of their film lately too. And I'm shocked. They actually deploy a zero look. They actually send it, in my opinion, more than us. When I watch them in like, especially against Miami, they run that look more than you think. But again, even if you run it against a great quarterback, how many times are you going to be able to do that before they figure it out? How many times? I always look at it like our offense. All you got to do is just run staggered slants. And you got to get rid of the ball right away before those linemen engage and back out, unengage. And one good slant, and it's going to the house. One good crosser, one good pick play where you can get rid of the ball quick. And that's the scary part. They'll go to the house. That's why I told y'all in the Tennessee game, don't zero Tannehill. Don't zero Tannehill. It ain't even the fact that he that great, but one thing I'll tell you, if he see that guy and he get the ball off, he gonna bullet it to him. That's one thing. I don't care what you say. Tannehill's arm strength of getting the ball there, I don't think that's ever been a question. And that's why it's those guys that if they ain't a slow blink, if they can get it there and zip it there, they can make you pay. And that's the only scary part with a defense like this, is if you pay 2 times in a game, it's you climbing a hill at that point. And people will easily say things like, oh, the defense is struggling now. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with y'all. If we get beat on them zero blitzes and stuff, don't say the defense is struggling. You got to talk about who calling the play on defense, because that's one thing I'll give Flores or Boyer, whoever you want to talk about. Whoever was responsible for it last year and the year before, at least they did it when they knew they could do it. They only did it against the people they knew they could do it against. Even in that Tennessee game, we didn't do it. We only did it one time and we could pay for it. But at least they called it only against the quarterbacks they knew that they could do it against. So this year, if you see guys getting beat off the zero blitz and stuff like that, don't get mad. It's the play caller not respecting the other team that we're playing, because it don't work against everybody. It does not work against everybody. Or they could do it against the big dogs and it works. And that would go more into our theory that we've been talking about of Xavier Howard and Byron Jones just not being healthy when we don't run it. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, that's the defensive end position. I'm telling you, I like, the young guys that we have. I personally feel like we still got to invest in another defensive end for the future because Ogbah basically got a 2-year deal if you look at the contract structure. And again, that probably won't last much longer after that. So you still need another guy that's going to start to develop behind him over the next year or two. It's not a rush to get it, but you'll probably need to get it next year. Next year would be the optimum year to invest in a really good defensive end to play with and or sit behind Ogbah to take on that role as Jalen Phillips becomes more of a primary guy on the edge. So that's what I like about the interior D line is probably the best situation that you have. The best situation in my opinion, because I still believe Raekwon Davis I think this year Raekwon Davis is going to be a name that pops off the screen that everybody's like, man, like I think Raekwon can make or break whether or not this defense can be historic. Because if Raekwon takes that Christian Wilkins leap, because Christian Wilkins did take a leap, let's acknowledge that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not make it seem like Christian Wilkins been a dog since day one. He's been good, but there was a lot to be desired. And last year, he checked the box. And if Raekwon can have that kind of season, that can be the difference of a historic defense or not. Because if Raekwon is playing at a top five level at the nose, then ladies and gentlemen, he's going to mask a lot of the issues you got in that linebacking core, him alone. While Zyler and Christian Wilkins eating on the outside of him, this is your tied or second strongest area. Y'all give me a second. Let me check what time it is. All right, y'all, my bad. But no, that would Baker, Zach Zyler, and Andrew Van Ginkel. Where I don't know where Baker come from, but whatever. But yeah, that's the area that I love the most on this team, and I love it more than our corners. And here's why: they're young. Christian Wilkins, Zyler, Raekwon, young. The future's already there. The future's already there. All right, give me a second. So that's the most promising area that I love about this team is the interior D line. And it's an important area, man. You got to stop the run. You got to be an anchor in the middle. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the best part of our team. That's the strongest part of our team. The interior D line, I feel like, is set up to be the strongest part of our team, and Raekwon Davis holds the keys of whether this can be a historic defense or not. So I love it. And again, if Raekwon does become that guy this year, that's another reason why we will not need to blitz as much or show that look. We won't. So hopefully, and last but not least, the nickel position. I love Nick Needham. He's a huge highlight to me. He's proven it 3 years in a row now. You've seen his trajectory just go up, and up. And I think this year it sucks because they tendered him. He didn't get a deal. But I think this year I'm rooting for him. You see, like that's somebody I'm rooting for. I've saw up, and up 3 years in a row. Here, then here, and productive, making plays and holding his own. His position is also an island position, ladies and gentlemen. following usually the most shifty, fastest guy around everywhere most of the time. And that's a guy who's given me 3 years that now I root for. Now I say, and I mean, I root for everybody, but it's like I root for it to the point of, please, man, give us this last year so you can get the money you deserve. Hopefully he don't break the bank, because then I gotta, oh well, go get your money somewhere else. But he's the type of guy that, as a Dolphin fan, I'm ultimately proud that he just made a certain level of money for his families, his kids, and his kids' kids, and his kids. I mean, all of them, I'm happy they make their money. And he's already making money. Even with the tender, he's getting some decent money that he wouldn't have expected. But he balled out this year. He's going to get his first little bag. It reminds me of Bobby McCain. Bobby McCain got his bag from doing the same work Nick Needham doing right now with the Dolphins. Yeah, Nick Needham. That's the whole defense. Those are the things I like about the defense. And I still couldn't help but give you the caveats to it, because I just got to give you context to everything. I don't like just giving the positive without context, because it could be misleading. All right. And like I said, offense, we've already been there. I can't sit here and rave crazily about Tyreek Hill. He's in there for now. After 3 years, I don't expect them to live out their contract. You know, Waddle, young up-and-coming star, I'm excited about. He's going to get the Tyreek money when they get rid of Tyreek. But then you're not going to be able to afford to get another one. You're going to have to get a guy in the draft. So Waddle is a highlight for me on this team. Young, up and coming. And I'm going to tell y'all can hate me for this all you want. I feel like Waddle going to end up having a more productive career than Tyreek if the quarterback serves him right. That's a big statement, but I believe it. Outside of that, every other receiver on this roster, I can't tell you nothing I like. Whole bunch of hopefuls, just like Preston was. Just like a whole bunch of hopefuls. Hope that they can turn out to something. I don't get involved in that. Ain't nothing else to like. Receiving core, Waddle. Tyreek ain't the future. He's the now. I'm glad we got him now so we can try to do something special. So I like that, the Waddle situation in the receiver room. Outside of those two guys, man, y'all hoping you can get that third guy. Sometimes it comes down to who that third guy is. Cedric Wilson, will hope so. Preston, if he can be healthy, and even if he can be healthy, how much he gonna give you? We'll see. Again, we talk about a whole bunch of unproven people just because they made a few plays, and we want to automatically say they them dudes. Jakeem Grant made a few plays several years. Then when he got thrusted into a main role, oh, you hated him more than anybody. Waddle gonna request a trade. Time will tell. Bolden, again, you still got to see what he do on the field. We know the talent, but you got to do it. You got to be on the field. We can't just automatically give it to him. So receiving core, it is what it is. Running backs, I have zero positivity to give you. Outside of, we got a whole bunch of guys that if one go down, another one can step up. What am I supposed to give you? Whole bunch of injured guys that are talented, but come on, I'm looking at the long-term longevity of this team. Ain't nothing I can rely on right now. They got to become reliable first. Tight end, they don't even know if they want Gesicki because they haven't even invested in him long-term. Everybody else, spot fillers. Productive, but spot fillers. So I can't tell you nothing I really like about the tight end room other than the fact that we playing with Gesicki. If I knew they were committal on him, I could say that he's a thing that I like. But they're non-committal. What else? We got running back, tight ends, receivers. O-line, don't get me started. You got a left tackle who you don't know how many years he got left, plus the last 8 years he can't finish the season. Great, but what am I like that we got him. When he healthy, he's going to be likable. Outside of that, ain't nothing I can rely on long term. Connor Williams, I love it. If they play him at guard, they play him at center, I don't know what we got. I take all the penalties if you play him at guard, honestly. Robert Hunt, bright shining star. Love his trajectory. This is the year for him to show it. Solidify himself as a top guard in this league. Sony, there's your like on the O-line. Everything else, I can't tell you. What am I supposed to lie to you? Quarterback, I just spent 2.5 hours talking about it, so I think that's everything. So when you really think about it, the health of this team long term, you can like where we are now, but long term, there's a lot of band-aids sitting on this roster right now. Guys, this there to hold it down for us. Punter, yeah, I got to see him in action this year though. Kicker, Jason Sanders, I loved him before this year. Now he got to have a comeback year. I can't even give him the like anymore. Y'all know I obsessed about Jason Sanders last year. He got to have a comeback year now. So to say every other show talk about what I like, there's too many spot likes. I'm not going to sit on the stream and over sensationalize things to just seem overly positive. Just going to tell you what I think about this team and what's going on. TD, you running, bro. You don't want this heat. But EM, I'm going to take a break because I expected to stream for about an hour, and here I am 3 hours in. I'm going to take a break. You hit me up, call me or text me, tell me when you're free. We can crank up the stream. I'll schedule something with you so you can get ethered as always. So you can start bringing up Josh Rosen when you know you're losing a debate with me. So you let me know. I'm about to get up out of here. And we'll pick this up later. Man. Y'all hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We're getting closer and closer to where the rubber meets the road, man. Training camp is going to be so exciting this year. I already told y'all I plan on being there, giving y'all the truth about what's happening in training camp. Also, I'm working on being at the Bucs training camp. That's the little treat that I got for y'all. So I'm working on being at Bucs training camp. We'll see how that works out. I'm seeing if a few people can come through for me, and if they can, I will be at the Bucs training camp because that's a real one. That's gonna be one that's gonna tell you a lot because you know they're not actually gonna be hitting and padded for most of the practices with where the fans come. They probably only have 1.5 practices where they actually hit when the fans are there. And that's usually like that Thursday or that Friday or something like that. But that Bucs one, I think I've read already that they expect to have full contact practices. So me being there is going to be everything. I'm working on that because the Bucs ain't open it up for fans. They're only open it up for season ticket holders. And, you know, I got some people, so I'm going to see if I can get there. And if I can, y'all know y'all going to get the exclusive of what's really happening in camp, how we really look against a Super Bowl caliber team, right? So, y'all know y'all had the exclusive with me and the honest truth. So, anyway, yeah, in Tampa. It'll be in Tampa. Anyway, this is TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. I plan to be live again today. Me and my wife, who will be doing a podcast tonight. I'll probably go live before the podcast to give y'all a link to where I'll be. We should be live tonight in our podcast, so hopefully y'all enjoy that. Not on this channel, on our family channel. So anyway, man, I'll see y'all later. Let me go check on the fam, see what they up to, because I went 2 hours over what I thought I would. Fins up no matter what. Before I get out of here, let me go ahead and crank it one more time for y'all. Let me crank it one more time for the Fins family. Got to crank the new single again.
It's TD.
Yeah.
We done came so far. Gotta keep going.
Love y'all.
Hey, this is 2022. TD on the mic repping my team. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Over 20,000 subs. Look at how much we done grew. Shout out DDW. He's great and that's my peer review. These haters keep on hating and it's starting to feel like deja vu. Insanity and Chef Jew. I can't forget my day one crew. EM Reason Ball Game. The recognition's overdue. I share with you my point of view and this is what it's got us to success. My haters say I'm a mess. They say that I'm a pest and I depress. And I'm obsessed with causing stress, but yet the stress they can't suppress. Nonetheless, I just impress because I'm blessed and they oppress. I know the answers, they just guess. When they play checkers, I play chess. When they regress, I make progress. And my attention, they get less. They feel neglected, CPS. If they don't pay, I repossess. Now I digress and decompress and take recess and clear my chest. I must confess, I am the best. Like, hey, this is 2022. TD on the mic repping my team. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Over 20,000 subs. Look at how much we done grew. Shout out DDW. He's great and that's my peer review. These haters keep on hating and it's starting to feel like deja vu. Insanity and Chef Jew. I can't forget my day one crew. EM Reason Ball Game. The recognition's overdue. I share with you my point of view and this is what it's got us to success. On the road to the Super Bowl, no matter the cost, man, we willing to pay the toll. 50 plus years and they all ended in tears. Now it's time to pop bottles, celebrate, scream cheers. Hey, this is 2022. TD on the mic repping my team. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Over 20,000 subs. Look at how much we done grew. Shout out to my day one crew. We only here because of you.